Is his wife mad about it? A little, but Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Spring is finally here, and so are spring projects. So get them started at Harbor Freight's parking lot sale. Happening now. Save on products like pressure washers for $69.99, 42-inch roller cabinets for under $500, plus 30% off Hercules corded power tools. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until 3/9/25 while supplies last. Limitations apply, so spring in before it's over.
It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah.
So,
You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse. Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm in back in Dayton. You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm.
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Cap.
God, I'm going to melt you. Bing, ba-da-bum. Yeah, come on, Marcus. Boom, ba-da-bum. Yeah. Ding, da-da-bum. Boom, ba-da-bum. Ba-da-bum. Pick-a-doom, da-da-bum. Boom, ba-da-bum. Dig-dig-dig-dig-a-doom, da-da-bum. Yeah. Bum, ba-da-bum. All right. Friday.
What's going on, man?
Marcus Grant in the house.
Good to see you.
Looking sharp.
Thank you.
You got to coordinate.
You know, that's what it is. Like, I have to thank the wife for this because she dresses me and she does a great job of it. And like today, I didn't want to have to think about what I wore, so I just pulled out the whole tracksuit.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Georgie boy, where we at today? We're in Denver, huh?
Yep, still here, Cappy.
Yeah, you doing all right? You breathing? You okay?
Yeah, it's a little colder today. It was nice yesterday. It was like in the 50s, and today I woke up, it was 27. I'm like, that's a little chillier than I anticipated during my time here, but nonetheless, I'm okay.
Have you done anything to test your lungs while at altitude? Have you done anything to say, let me see if it's real?
I did. Yeah, of course it's real. I did I worked out this morning, so I was on the treadmill for a little bit.
Okay.
And then I was, they had a heavy bag, so I was doing some punching and some kicking to the heavy bag, and yeah, you needed to take some breaks.
All right. Yeah, I know. When you go up to altitude and you're like, I'm just kind of walking around, am I right? And then you try and do something like remotely athletic, and you're like, oh, now I feel it. I was up there and I jumped into a pool to do some laps, and I got to the other end of the pool and I was sucking wind, man. So it is real.
When you said, did he do anything to test, the altitude? Like, right. I didn't think you meant athletically. I thought you meant in terms of, inhale, exhale, those sorts of things.
No, that I figure is just by default you do those things.
No, not like just regular oxygen. But, partake and see whether or not
you could do that in L.A. Just doing it at altitude, what's going to be the difference? Right? I don't know. Is it really? I've never tried.
I would think that just because the air is, I don't know. I'm not a science guy.
Is the air is thinner? That's a great thing. We should look that up.
Because the air is thinner, that maybe you get a little more, a little higher.
That's a good question. It's funny you say you're not a science guy. How would you characterize yourself? If you're not a science guy, are you a fantasy football guy?
I am. I'm a general nerd, kind of a professional nerd, if you will. Yeah.
All right.
That's kind of what I do.
Because a friend of mine the other day, I said to him, hey, I want to get your advice on something. He goes, what do I know? He goes, I'm just a stock guy. And I go, well, what do I know? I'm just a radio guy.
I just write about fake football for a living. What do you want?
Right.
What do you want from me?
So, George, what are you? I guess you're like an NBA guy. I guess that's how I would characterize you. Before guy, NBA goes before guy. What do you think?
Fair. That's fair. I feel like I'm a little more eclectic than that, but if you want to label me that way, that's fine. I will not be allowed to be labeled that way.
I understand not being labeled. In fact, this morning here at LA Live, I was downstairs in the Starbucks, and there were all these ladies, and they were here to be judges for a gymnastics competition that's happening over here at the LA Convention Center. And the woman was standing right next to me, and she had on this jacket, and it said judge. And I looked right at her, and I said, don't judge me. I don't know why, but I thought that was funny. Like, I thought that was funny. You know,
I would have laughed. Was she amused?
Yeah, I think she was relatively amused.
Right.
But then she said to me, she goes, well, what do you have, a daughter that's competing over here today? I go, no, I just thought it was funny that you're wearing a shirt that says judge.
You're
and
like, I don't know what that means.
Right, just don't judge me. So, didn't go over quite as well as I'd hoped.
Don't be so judgmental.
Right. That would have been a much better way of saying it.
Be curious, not judgmental.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
So, George, let me tell you something. I know we talked during Super Crosstalk, and I said, I realize I'm exaggerating just a slight bit. I kind of get it here. Which I know is unusual, right? I mean, I know not really something you would expect from a guy like me. But I'm just here to tell you that last night, there was a vibe and a feel that was, very different to me than even when Dallas came to town here just about a week and a half ago for Luka's first matchup back against his former team. The New York, LA thing, Spike Lee, Larry David, what happens with Stephen A. Smith, Ben Stiller, celebrities, Chad Smith, the drummer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Flea. I mean, everybody's in the house last night.
Too.
Who?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray?
I didn't see Kyler Murray. Somebody else said he was there.
He's down on the baseline.
He's a wee man, and so it's easy to overlook Kyler.
Oh, really? Because he's a little guy.
He's a wee man.
So where was he?
Down on the baseline on the Knicks side of the bench.
Okay. Yeah. But it seemed like last night it was a star-studded crowd more so than normal. The New York, LA thing was at work. Jalen Brunson and the performance that he's having until he sprained his ankle. And by the way, I'll give the guy a lot of credit. It wasn't tearing your Achilles, but it was twisting your ankle. And then he stood there and he made those 2 free throws, and then he couldn't go anywhere. He was like stuck in quicksand. He's like, somebody foul or do something because I got to get out of this game. From my perspective, being there, it was bigger and felt different than just another big regular season game against a Western Conference opponent. I think it was a lot of the New York, LA thing. Maybe I'm exaggerating.
You know what it felt like?
Tell me.
You know what it felt like? It felt like a Laker game, okay? And the reality is a Laker game for most of our lives has felt bigger than pretty much anything, okay, in professional basketball. And I think when you combine the fact that, the Knicks are playing pretty well and they're better than I think most people thought they'd be, and, they're at least relevant to some extent, I think that helps. But to me, this starts and ends with the Lakers, that the Lakers are the Lakers again.
Well, that is an interesting point because I was talking to some listeners last night who are big Laker fans, and one of the gentlemen who's, lifelong Laker fan said, I haven't been this excited about this Laker team in a really, really long time. And I said, well, why? What is it? And we got into this whole conversation about, look at how they hustle. Look at how they dive for loose balls. Look how much energy they're bringing. Look how much heart and desire they're playing with. And by the way, George, this is right up my alley. You don't have to sell me on this. You start talking about heart and desire, Marcus. I'm your heart and desire guy, okay? Right? I'm all about heart and desire. I'm all about hustling for loose balls, okay? But I think that the whole team is so ultra energized. And not only does the team play that way, but I think the fans are feeding off of it. Again, I know I'm getting super hokey about this whole thing, but last night felt different. That's all I'm saying.
Hashtag last night felt different.
Yeah. Just want everybody to contemplate that.
I don't think you're crazy with that. I think there is definitely a new energy with this team and with this fan base, right? It happens when you bring in a 25-year-old superstar and you trade for him for relative pennies, right? For what he probably could have commanded, had the Mavericks shopped around a little bit. I do feel and sense sort of a different, I guess, energy, for lack of a better term, with this team. And I think, obviously, George, as much as it has to do with LeBron and Luka playing together and what they do offensively, it does feel like there's a recommitment to defense with this team. I know everybody talked about Luka's defense and losing Max Christie and that sort of thing, but watching the way some of these guys are defending right now, to watch Jared Vanderbilt just be a spark plug off the bench, to watch Dorian Finney-Smith, get up in people's chests, even Gabe Vincent going out and making plays defensively, it does feel like, this team kind of got kickstarted on both ends of the floor just by adding Luka Doncic.
Kickstart my heart, Cappy. That's what Marcus is referring to right
listen,
there.
Hey, I'll take some Motley Crue references all day, every day. You feel me on that?
Yeah. I mean, listen, you're all right. I will say that if we're being honest, the defense started well before Luka arrived. I think that there is a different level of maybe detail to it because if we are going to be also honest, if there's a shortcoming to him, it's on that side of the ball, which means that he has to at least compete to some extent, but the other four guys on the floor have to make up for that shortcoming.
Say this, watching Luka now, like every game, every minute of every game, which is not something I did when he was in Dallas. I'll say a couple of quick things. One, bro, you got to at some point handle your emotions. And there's probably a flip side to that.
This is part of the Luka experience.
I know, and that's what I'm getting at. There's probably a flip side to that, which is, no, bro, don't you see that when he knocks down a big three and he's roaring at the other team? I'm like, no, that I love. That part of it I love. It's the constant griping to the official on everything, or like, seemingly on the verge of a tech at all times. So there's you got to take the good with the bad when it comes to Luka and all of his emotion.
Someone suggested to me that when they eventually build a statue for Luka out in front of Crypto, will it be him pleading with the referees? Like, is his hands out to the side with like a frown on his face, pleading to the officials about a foul?
That's great.
I will say though, JJ Redick did pull him to his side, and not late in the fourth quarter. Like, hey, look, man, like by you complaining to the refs, you're not seeing what's on the floor. Meaning offensively, like you missed an assignment, and also defensively as well, because there was a lot of times in that game where he wouldn't get a foul call, and he would be jogging back on defense, would hurt the Lakers in the first half. And obviously they figured out coming in that fourth quarter, like, hey, look, man, play through the fouls, play through contact. Like, don't worry about that stuff. I'm pretty sure that's what J.J. Redick told him in the huddle.
Yeah, and then just one other.
And here's what I would say. I get the sense, and maybe I'm wrong, and this is just an observation, okay? So I haven't, charted this thing. But I have a feeling like since Luka's been here, I feel like J.J. is complaining less to the refs because – just basically because we know Luka's going to complain a ton, and I feel like he's doing it to just kind of balance the force a little bit.
Yeah, I think the other thing is with Luka sometimes, and again, this is now watching every day, every play, every game, which is something I didn't do when he was in Dallas. Sometimes he can be a little sloppy with the ball, and it's like, hey, bro, that's not the Washington Generals you're playing. You know what I mean? This is not the Harlem Globetrotters.
I love Cappy trying to tell one of the best ball handlers in the sports history how to handle the ball.
So
I love
sometimes
this.
This is
great.
A little sloppy at times. That's all. Just a little sloppy at times. It's all that just, hey.
I love it.
All right. Well, listen, speaking of things that you love, I know you love your home away from home, which is how you got to Denver. So why don't you fill us in?
Yes, our friends at LAX, where changes are arriving daily to reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the traveler experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding. Who doesn't want to get to their flight fast enough? I mean, come on, everybody does. And a new facility will soon have all major rental car brands under one roof. So if your friends and family come to visit, they're good to go because it's going to be all right there. And then in the future, this is key for you if you live here. In the future, you won't even need a car to get to LAX because the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. Yep, you take the Metros to the Century Station. The People Mover train will pick you up right there and then right to your terminal. So for more information, check out their website, flylax.com, for more info. Again, that's flylax.com.
The most followed sports radio station in America.
710 ESPN.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
LA's mega sports station.
Feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gat today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergat.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergat.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game, avnergat.com.
Hey, it's Mace. Want a new game to get excited about? Check out Chumba Casino, your favorite online social casino. It's free to play, no strings attached. Enjoy social casino games like bingo, slingo, and slots and more with new releases every week, whether you're at home or on the go. Play for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Get started today at ChumbaCasino.com.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Want a golf course quality lawn? It's easier and more affordable than you think with True Green. As the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, True Green brings pro-level expertise straight to your yard, so your lawn can look like a fairway. Sign up by March 10th and get one free application. Plus, you'll get True Green's price match guarantee. If you're not satisfied, True Green will revisit your lawn between scheduled visits to make it right. Visit TrueGreen.com today to get a free application. Offer ends March 10th. Restrictions apply.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Take a look at me.
I feel like your fat is less visceral.
Oh, really?
The LA Afternoon Takeover rolls on right now.
Yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody's all up into it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Me and Marcus are dancing. DeAndre's in it. Lindsay Baseball. Even Parker. George, do you bring the boom?
No, Cappy. This is all you.
You're not into bringing the boom?
No. I'm good.
You don't even understand what happened around here today. So,
listen, I saw the pictures. I saw DeAndre, I think, post a picture. I saw everybody post a picture. That's cool. Like, I love everyone having a good time. I'm cool not knowing what bringing the boom is or whatever.
So
how many
are you not aware of what the whole
Oh, no, I'm
phenomenon
aware
is?
of the concept. Yes. Yeah,
the concept.
I just choose not to care, is what I would say.
Let me tell you this right now. LeBron James himself could come walking into this radio station and people be like, oh, damn, LeBron's here. But when AJ and Big Justice were in the house. No. AJ and Big Justice today, George. I'm telling you right now, they own this place.
No, I was saying, so they had exited by the time I got here, but there was still a buzz in the building when I got here about this.
Cappy, you were literally, listen, we just had Glenn Fry's son, Deacon Frey, on yesterday, okay? Even on the phone. And you were like a giddy school child,
Oh, yes, I was.
understandably
Yes,
so.
I was.
And, you're comparing that to these Costco guys or whatever?
So here's the thing, George. So here's how I judge things like these.
I know where you're going.
If LeBron James came in and I texted my whole family and I was like, hey, guys, here's a picture of Dad and LeBron, my kids will be like, that's cool, Dad. Way to go, man. But I texted my kids a picture of me today with AJ and Big Justice, these Costco guys, and my daughters were like, tell him I love him, Dad. Tell him I love him, And my one daughter's like,
OMG.
Yeah, my daughter's like, oh, my God, legends, all the goats in the building, So, George, I can only judge this based on how excited my daughters got. You feel me?
I mean, I get it, I guess. But, yeah, good. Not my thing, bro.
Wow.
Not my thing.
Wow, and you missed them. You know that we're going to put some social media videos out.
I'm so, as you can tell, I'm torn apart that I missed them.
Yeah, I mean, you have no idea though. They did a lot. They tried a lot of like legendary LA foods.
Yeah.
And then they judged booms based on that.
I heard Randy's ranked really highly with them. Randy's Donuts.
Randy's Donuts did great. Pink's Hot Dogs did really good.
Right. Right.
So, these guys brought the boom, George. It was too bad. They actually asked for you. They're like, where's Sedano?
Yeah, they wanted to give you 5 big booms.
Yeah, and you were here for 0 booms. No booms for you.
No booms.
Yeah, good. I'm okay. No booms for me is good.
No booms for Sedano.
Yeah, I'm happy being a no boom kind of guy.
Well, there were a lot of booms last night over at Crypto.com. I can say that right now. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a great night. It really was an amazing night. Just the vibe, the energy, the atmosphere, the fact that the Lakers jumped out to this first quarter lead and then got ham-slammed in the second quarter. I mean, they got destroyed in the second quarter. I thought, geez, I don't know how these guys are going to come back. And as the game was getting to the latter part of the fourth quarter, I kept thinking to myself, how did they even do this? Like, they just kept grinding away, and other guys, role players, making shots, coming up big. I looked up at the scoreboard and I was like, wow, like Luka's got like 30. LeBron had about 29 at this point. So those two guys were doing a lot of the scoring, even though I didn't think Luka was playing really great. And I
don't think he shot particularly well last night.
Yeah, and he said after the game, he's like, I'm still not playing well. Like, he's scoring and he's putting up numbers across the box score, but he doesn't feel like he's playing well. And I don't know, there are times where it doesn't look so great, but yet the numbers always kind of bear out that he has these huge games. George, you were watching it on TV last night. What'd you see?
Look, I saw a Knicks team that was like, oh no, this isn't going to happen to us again after the start, and fought back into the game because they're a very talented offensive team. I thought the Lakers missed some shots that I thought they normally would make. But that's the reality. It's a very much a make or miss league. And it allowed the Knicks to kind of take control of the game until Gabe Vincent came and really rescued the day. I mean, we could talk about LeBron and Luka all we want, and they're obviously incredible. You're talking about 2 of the top 10 players in the sport. But, you need to win in the margins in this league against another good team. And a guy like Gabe Vincent came up big, not only on the defensive end, but hit, 2 or 3 of the biggest shots in the actual game. So I think that's the type of thing that I look at. And I say to myself, this is what's going to make this Lakers team potentially a team that goes very deep into the playoffs, because they're getting these contributions from the guys not named LeBron and Luka, which is what they're going to need.
I just want to ask you real quick about the Knicks. I know you watch all these teams, and I know you are a league pass junkie and that sort of thing. Because what I saw from them last night, I mean, Cappy asking how did the Lakers come back? What I saw from them last night was a lot of what I saw from them earlier in the week against the Warriors. Were down the stretch, they just couldn't make shots. And it feels like if Jalen Brunson is out for an extended period of time, like this team could kind of go in free fall.
Oh, there's no question. He's the catalyst of all of it, right? Like, as good as Karl Anthony Towns is, and he's been incredible, it's really the reason that there's such a good offensive team, Marcus, is because of the 2-man game between Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. And I think the other reason they lost that game is because they couldn't get stops. And that's not like a Tom Thibodeau type team, but this particular Knicks team is not a very good defensive team, because Jalen Brunson can be had when he's out there. Obviously, Karl Anthony Towns is not necessarily the greatest defender. But despite that, I still feel like they should be better, because they've got guys like OG Anunoby on this team and Mikal Bridges, et cetera, would make you think that they'd be better. But they're bad on defense. And at this point, there's no escaping that. So I think teams know that. And in crunch time against other good teams, it's why they're, I believe, 0-8 or whatever against the top 2 and 3 seeds in each conference, because they can't get the stops that they need down the stretch.
I'll tell you another guy who I'm going to keep on harping on this, who has just elevated his game to another level that I wasn't sure that he had in him, is Jaxson Hayes. Mm-hmm. And again, it doesn't necessarily show up everywhere last night because he had a total of 8 points, but there was one block in particular, probably later into the third quarter, and the whole crowd finally had come to life on that block shot. Jaxson Hayes is playing at a level that, honestly, 4 or 5 or 6 weeks ago, especially as Anthony Davis was talking about needing another big man, I'm not sure any of us knew that this is what Jaxson Hayes was going to be. George, you told me the other day, this is not the way it's going to be come the postseason. but I'm still impressed with the way the kid has elevated through this whole transition.
As you should. There's no question. He is playing above his head in some ways. I also think a lot of that is really Luka and LeBron and their familiarity with playing with a player like him through their history. I kind of mentioned like Luka's had a guy like, I don't think Jaxson Hayes is as good as Derek Lively. And I don't think he's as good as Chris Birdman Anderson like LeBron had when he had him, but very similar type build, very similar type style, lob threat, vertical spacer, screen setter, you know what I mean? Is long, can cover a lot of ground. So I think that, I think that if anyone was going to get the best out of him, it was going to be a combination of one of these guys, let alone both of these guys. So I think that's that. And, it's funny, last night, Cappy, I was watching the game after dinner. I caught the entire second half watching with a former NBA player in the lobby. And we had a lot of conversations about just kind of the Western Conference in general and the NBA at large. And one of those conversations was that, LeBron and Luka are going to be able to maximize these guys as long as they play their role and are elite at playing their role. They'll have a good chance at going deep.
So last night, to go to this Laker game, Marcus, I took my college roommate, my best friend, just signed on to become a coach with the Rams.
Okay.
So he got to town on Sunday night, went into the Rams office on Monday and worked all week, with the coaching staff. They jump right in, right? And last night I was going to take my boy to his first Laker game. So we go to the game, and he tells me what I did not know. I'll throw it to you guys to see if you guys know this. Do you guys know who Jaxson Hayes' dad is?
I do not.
Isaac Hayes?
Good guess. Very good guess. Not Isaac Hayes. George, because I didn't know this.
He was an NFL guy, right?
Right.
I don't remember. I don't know specifically who he was,
His name
but
was
I know he played in the
Hayes.
NFL.
Right. Jonathan Hayes was a tight end. You could go back and kind of look him up, but his career, as I always remember, it was with the Pittsburgh Steelers, where, do you guys remember a tight end by the name of Eric Green?
Yes.
Big old booty,
Number
giant
86.
legs, right?
Yes.
He eventually went to the Dolphins from the Steelers. I want to say he was drafted in the first round from at the time, they were a tiny little school, Liberty University. This is just my recollection. So Jonathan Hayes was a career backup NFL tight end who then went on to become a longtime NFL assistant coach. And my boy Van Pelt is sitting there with me last night, and he goes, well, that's Jonathan's kid, right? And I go, Jonathan Hayes? He's like, I never put two and two together. And he was telling me the story that when he was in high school in suburban Cincinnati, he was like a 6'3", 6'4" kid. And then all of a sudden in his senior year, he blew up to 6'11", and that's how he got to Texas. And, mom and dad thought he was going to be a guy who was going to be in college and get his degree. And he was one and done. I don't remember what number pick he was in the draft, but I recall he was a lottery pick. But I had no idea that Jaxson Hayes had come from this football lineage, which to me, I kind of always find really interesting. Jonathan Hayes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm looking him up. He hung around the league for a while. 12 seasons, most of them in Kansas City, few in Pittsburgh.
Kansas City, right. Kansas City first, then Pittsburgh. That's right.
Yeah. So, hey, obviously he, I was a blocking tight end or something. He was obviously serviceable to hang in the league for 12 years.
I mean, that's so cool. Like you are an NFL football player, and now there's your son out there as the starting center playing with LeBron and Luka. And I personally, George, I had no idea. Did you know that?
I knew his dad played in the NFL, but I didn't remember who he was.
All right. Well, speaking of the NFL, it's unfortunate, man. We don't have any more NFL, but we got plenty of NBA, which, George, means we got lots of plays on Prize Picks.
Yeah, Cappy. Of course, download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. Your first $5 play gets you a $50 bonus. And it's really simple, okay? There's a stat line for every individual player in pretty much every freaking sport imaginable. And all you got to do is say, is that person going to go more or less than that number total that you see in front of yourself? And then you bundle a few together. And, man, you can bundle as little as 4 and win 1,000 times your money depending on what you're bundling. And when you get that money and it's in your account, you can get it in as quickly as 15 minutes. And again, if you want action in the state of California, Prize Picks is the place to be, Cappy.
So Flex Friday today. I've yet to make my plays, but I'm taking a look at a couple. Tell me what you think about this one. How about LaMelo Ball tonight for more than 6.5 rebounds? Chicago playing Cleveland, by the way. You like that play or no?
No, I don't.
Don't like that play, okay? And the reason I asked, the reason
you mean Charlotte? Yeah, is it Lonzo or LaMelo?
LaMelo. Excuse me.
Okay.
Evan Mobley tonight. What do you think about Evan Mobley? This is a goblin play What do you think about 12.5 points, more than 12.5 for Evan Mobley?
Yeah, of course.
Miles Bridges tonight, more than 5.5 rebounds. You like that one or no?
Sure.
I'm just trying to find anything that gives me a demon or a goblin that makes me more money. Like DeAndre Hunter. You know, DeAndre Hunter tonight, 4.5 rebounds. Anybody? Anybody like that one?
DeAndre Hunter. I don't know. I feel like DeAndre Hunter's a very good defender. I feel like he could kind of potentially walk into 4 rebounds. Sure,
Well,
why not?
his last 4 or 5 games, 5 rebounds, 5, 7, 5. So I'm trying to play. Look, here's the bottom line. When you look at the green guy, that's
And they're
the goblin.
playing Charlotte, right?
Yep.
So I'm trying to think who he'd be matched up against. Well, probably. They don't really have this great roster, and they have a bunch of guys who are hurt. So yeah, I could see that.
So when you see the red guy, that's the demon. When you see the green guy, that's the goblin. When you see the red guy in particular, that's when you can really make that much more money. So download the Prize Picks app, use the code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y, make that $5 play, get that $50 bonus, play today for Flex Friday. George, Prize Picks.
Run your game.
I'm Doug.
And I'm Damon.
And we want to buy your house.
Let Seller's Advantage show you how we can give you more.
No fees, no commissions, and no repairs. Just a fair cash offer that can close in just a few days.
Check out our Google reviews.
And call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
No. Not the GOAT. The GOAT. The greatest Lakers fan of all time. Think it's you? Upload your pic or video to Facebook, Instagram, X, or TikTok, and tell us your favorite Lakers memory. Use hashtag LakersGoat, GFOAT, and hashtag promotion, and follow at ESPN Los Angeles. The Lakers GOAT is going to be rewarded with courtside seats, a VIP private tour of the Lakers UCLA Health Training Center, a year's supply of BBGO, and more. The Lakers GOAT. Is it you?
The CONCACAF Nations League finals arrive at SoFi Stadium March 20th to 23rd. USA versus Panama, followed by Canada versus Mexico. Get your tickets now on Ticketmaster. For more information, visit CONCACAFNationsLeague.com/tickets.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage-as-a-service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
This is Sedano and Cap on 710. Yeah. Sedano and Cap continues.
Really?
Right now.
Oh, really? Uh-huh. Oh,
This is when Axel Foley is chasing the bad guys through the streets
Oh,
of
yeah.
Beverly Hills.
Right.
Sort of thing, yeah.
Beverly Hills 1?
This is the first one.
Yeah,
yes.
when he's driving around in his crappy blue Chevy
In his
Nova.
blue Chevy, wearing his Detroit Lions
Right.
Letterman jacket,
with
basically.
with the Mumford High School
Yeah,
T-shirt.
exactly.
Why do we remember these things? What's the story on this song today? Oh, look at D.
I got a new attitude.
Look at D jamming to this thing right here. Oh, yeah.
It's a good song.
He's really pumped because Funch is bringing us chicken bakes.
I'm excited for that.
Because we've never had them
From
before.
Costco? The Costco chicken
Yeah,
bakes? Oh, they're legit.
Really?
We've never had them
had
before.
one before.
They're legit.
Really?
Oh, we better tell him to pick up a third one.
Nah, I don't. Dude, I'm so fat I can't take it anymore, honestly.
Oh, yeah, you already ate. I haven't eaten yet today.
Yeah, and then Lindsay brought in these like Randy's donuts, and we were doing the boom thing with the Costco guys. Boom. And I had no choice. I had to take 2 bites of this donut. Then
man, it's so tough.
Then she had these like Pink's hot dogs, and I had to take a bite of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is just waiting for my arteries to clog at any moment, right? You know what I mean? There was bacon on it, and I don't know. They looked like some kind of mayo all over. And a very snappy dog, by the way.
Oh, yeah, no, but Pink's dog's a good dog.
It's a nice dog.
It's a good dog.
Very good dog. You never had one?
No.
No? You never had one? Man, you ain't know nothing about no Pink's dogs.
I do not.
No.
I do.
You're going to have to find out about them. So, Georgie, yeah, you missed a lot of commotion here today. You missed a lot last night. It even rained on us, George, last night. We were walking over to Crypto.com, and it rained on us. By the way, shout out to Richard and the entire staff and the whole team down at Fleming's downstairs here at LA Live, because I stopped in last night for a quick happy hour beer, and the place is just jam-packed. And then I was trying to avoid the rain, forgot the umbrella, and got soaked on my way over to Crypto.com.
That's rough.
What was the deal?
Sorry to hear.
I know.
I'm just going to warn you, like if you're going to come up here from South next week, it's going to rain most of next week. So
Come
I
on,
just
really?
want to prepare you for that, just in case.
I used to always carry like these really nice, big, heavy-duty umbrellas in my car, and I don't know what happened. I don't know why I took them out, but I'm loading back up. I can't. I hate getting wet in the rain.
I did tell you if you waited 2 minutes for me, I had an umbrella, but you had to go.
Well, I just I was impatient. Happy hour was only till 6 o'clock last night. And I don't really get to get happy hour. Now, George, are you watching today's broadcast on YouTube at all?
No.
Not watching the video of what's going on here in studio.
No. What part of NO did you not understand?
I thought you said yes. I guess I misunderstood. Because let me tell you something about our man Marcus Grant. This mofo is looking sharp AF today.
He always looks sharp.
Nah. He's taking it up to another level today.
He's got 5 booms today.
I'm wearing the full tracksuit today with the matching shoes. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Right.
Okay.
It's like you got to coordinate.
Yeah, but I probably would get 5 booms. Yes, from our friends at Costco.
Yeah. It's too bad.
It's quite the fit.
It is quite the fit. It's like a royal blue look. He's got the Jordan logo in black.
Mm-hmm. Jumpman logo.
The Jumpman logo,
right?
Yeah.
And then
it's also on the pants, because you got to coordinate,
right?
As Johnny Witherspoon told us,
right,
so many years ago.
And then the shoes, man.
The shoes, the Jordan ones, the mids. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So George, it's too bad that you're not watching on YouTube, because I have a brand new pair of shoes that I wanted to air out to everybody to see if everybody liked them or not. Tell me what you think about these, Marcus. Let me grab these.
Okay. Yeah, I know that you were saying this. I haven't seen them yet, but the early returns, the early reviews, apparently they were negative in the building. Folks were not feeling what your shoes are.
Take a look at these bad boys right here. George, these are a brand new pair of sneakers, and the entire sneaker looks like a bunch of $2 bills, y'all.
I dig it.
Do you like these?
I do like
I
those.
think they're badass.
I think with the right outfit, you could crush with those.
You could rock some with
the
right outfit.
What do you wear these with?
I'd say like some black jeans and like either a white top or something with a little bit of green in there.
Okay.
Like, absolutely, you could crush with that.
Okay, so O'Shea Jackson Jr., he liked them too.
Yeah.
But George, you know what? Only 2 booms. Only 2 booms from the Costco guys.
I didn't feel like their speed. Like I think they would need like 20s or 100s on there to get 5
That's
booms.
what I said. I was like, what's with a $2 bill? Who uses a $2 bill?
That's
like,
the
why
point.
is that the bill?
It's kind of dope.
Yeah, very dope.
Okay.
Very
I
dope.
got $2 bills in my wallet right now.
How many you got? How many $2 bills?
I got a couple.
I have one at home.
Really,
It's
Marcus?
for good luck.
You ever carry a $2 bill?
I can't say I've ever carried one, but they're cool because like you don't see them very often, you know?
Yeah, George, you got a $2 bill on you?
I don't. Are you a $2 bill guy, Cappy? Do you have one like framed at the house?
Not framed, but I am carrying a few of them right now. I swear to you, I am. So,
Is this some kind of promotion for the $2 bill right
No,
now?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
DeAndre just broke out his $2 bill.
Can you imagine?
$2 bills, y'all.
$2 bill, y'all.
If
you were from where I
gave
was
that, if you gave that to like a kid who was like 13 or 14, he would think it was fake. Don't you think?
I don't know, man, but I just like these $2 bill sneakers.
I think they're kind of dope.
Yeah, me too. George, too bad you're not watching on YouTube. I really would love to have your feedback on this. Because if you want,
why don't you send me a picture?
Well, that's a hell of a good idea. Because otherwise,
technology.
Because if you want, I'll get you a pair of $2 bill sneakers if you want them.
Well, I'd like to see them first before I
Okay.
commit to anything.
All right, hold on a second here. Hold on a second. I'm about to FaceTime.
I gotta go
George.
here in a few minutes.
Where are you going?
We're doing FaceTime.
No, don't FaceTime me.
Why
Just
can't I
send me the
FaceTime you? I
picture.
FaceTime you in the shower.
Just send me the godforsaken picture.
Why can't I?
Because I'm on. You can't. Cappy, if you FaceTime me, I'm gone. It's gonna boot me off.
Oh!
I'm using my phone.
Oh gosh! All right, I'm sending you a picture of these $2 bill sneakers, and you tell me what you think. They're coming right now. FaceTime this kid in the shower.
So you have a guy? Is that where these are? You got a guy?
Yeah, guys sent me, and they're called Los Angeles air cooled memory foam sneakers.
So they're like a mattress.
Cappy, they're not my style, but I wouldn't be mad at anyone who rocked them.
How many
That's
booms
what I
does it
would
get?
say.
How many booms does it get?
I only got 2.
You only got 2 booms.
But maybe
I know.
because they
I'm
were
saying
$2 bills.
For Sedano, how many booms does that get,
Yeah,
Sedano?
yeah. How many booms, Georgie?
I mean, I would probably go like 1 or 2 booms.
Only
if I
one
was
boom,
booming.
less than the $2 bill.
Wow.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
bit of a disappointment.
I mean, it's just not my style, but I mean, I ain't mad at you. Like, if you want to rock it, I mean, I feel like you could try to pull that off, Cappy.
know.
Nice shoes, so people would.
Thank you, appreciate it.
George, I can see you.
I mean, right.
killing those on the sidelines. Doing your reports and stuff. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, no. I don't think I would go with the $2.
Do you think LeBron would
Okay.
compliment him then?
No,
He would definitely say something about them. I don't know if he would compliment them. but
Nice
yeah.
shoes, so. Thank you, appreciate it. Cat, you should go to a Lakers game. In those shoes, you should find like a coat, like all $1 bills or 5s, and all that.
Yes.
Then get some pants to go with it too. You should rock it at the next Lakers game.
Okay, all right.
I feel like that's a little too Craig Sager. May he rest in peace. Like that was his shtick. You know what I mean? I try not. I don't want to impede on the man's kind of
legacy, basically.
stick.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got more than that as his legacy.
I mean, that's
but
not
yes,
the only part of it, but yeah, it was, definitely a part of it.
I'm just seeing something come across Twitter right now that I'm going to qualify, gentlemen, as breaking news.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to qualify this as breaking news, which might mean
I see it.
I may need some breaking news music. I may need
All
a
right,
little.
just here. Raider Cap, you're going to be excited. You want to do it? Here it is.
Go ahead, George. Break the news.
According to Adam Schefter, Geno Smith is heading to the Las Vegas Raiders for a 3rd-round pick.
Oh.
Raiders.
Wow. So the Seahawks are just blowing it up right now, huh? That's what's
Yes.
happening?
Sounds like it.
What do you think about this move, though? Because, we've been talking about the Raiders and Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Geno Smith is an upgrade over Gardner Minshew, but
Yes.
it's not like, Geno Smith is going to be what Geno Smith is, which is you're going to be like kind of a borderline playoff type team with him unless you've got like unbelievable, exceptional talent around him.
He's not Patrick Mahomes. We get that. He's not Justin Herbert. We get that. He's Bo Nix was only a rookie, but he had a very good rookie season and led the Denver Broncos to a playoff spot. But for guys like me, and shout out to my boy Raider Ruben, happy birthday. I think that this is a nice, solid move because with Aaron Rodgers, you didn't know what you were going to get other than a 41-year-old guy coming off an Achilles who's got a bad attitude. At least with Geno Smith, you're getting a professional quarterback. I'm not saying superstar quarterback. I'm just saying professional quarterback. I like the move. Marcus, what do you think?
I do. I like the move too. I mean, I think Geno is a good bridge quarterback for whatever the move they're gonna make next. And I think it sort of signals too that they don't love either Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders enough to give up assets to be in position to draft those guys. So now you've got a quarterback that is not going to mess things up for you for the next couple of years. You've got a great young tight end in Brock
That's a
Bowers.
high bar to set.
Well, look. Last year
not mess things up.
Look, last year their quarterback competition was a mid-off between Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. So this is definitely a step forward from that.
Correct.
So yeah, I don't think it's a bad move at all.
Okay, we'll get back to it, and we got lots more to get to on what happened last night at the Lakers. George, I know you're taking off. Before you do, I want to remind everybody that ESPN LA is a proud partner with Children's Hospital Los Angeles. It's the 10th annual Make March Matter campaign, helping kids get the breakthrough care they need. ESPN LA will be auctioning off exclusive 710 experiences. All proceeds will be donated to Children's Hospital of LA. Make sure to visit 710forchla.com. That's 710forchla.com to make a difference today. George, have a great broadcast tonight, and we will see you next week.
He took off.
All right. He already left.
Already left.
He was like, hey, I told you guys 4 o'clock. So at 33 seconds ago, he bailed. Stick around. What we need to know is next. Marcus Grant is in for Sedano. This is Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
The best thing about owning a Cadillac Lyriq is owning a Cadillac Lyriq. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Lucky gift giveaway. Get a 4.5 quart ceramic sauce pot when you earn 500 points on your rewards card. The 11th.
Number 2.
Get your Good Times Pizza Company pizza to go today.
And the number 1 reason.
Ricky Smiley, live March 29th. Get tickets now.
Morongo, the best casino resort in the Southland. Good times.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. And our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you. From sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
If you've been thinking about selling your home and you've heard about Seller's Advantage on the radio or seen them around town, you might be a little skeptical, wondering if they're just another shady company trying to take advantage. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Seller's Advantage has been buying homes from sellers in Southern California for over 20 years. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and there's a reason they have some of the best reviews in town. Seller's Advantage will make you a competitive cash offer that can match what you'd end up with after paying for expensive repairs and agent commissions without the hassle of listing your home. Plus, they take pride in buying on your terms. If you want to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage for a no-obligation offer. 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-2747. Or, better yet, go to their website, sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is being brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Marcus Grant is in for Sedano on a Friday. You got DeAndre, who is controlling this operation, and Lindsay Baseball standing by ready with what we all need to know.
All right, what you need to know is, I guarantee you would not find this out if I didn't tell you this right now, that daylight savings time ends on Sunday.
Daylight savings time ends.
So we're
I thought it starts.
Whatever,
on
we're
Sunday.
springing forward.
Yes.
So we're no longer saving the daylight. We are, right? We're springing forward. And so that means you lose an hour of sleep, but you gain an hour of daylight. So when we leave here, like, it's not going to be like pitch black at 6 o'clock anymore. It's going to still be sunlight.
When does this happen?
It happens this Sunday.
Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Saturday, when you go to bed, you're going to wake up and it's going to, and it
Be an
happens
hour
in
later.
between 2 a.m.
Okay, and so our phones
Automatically.
will reset.
Automatically.
Remember back in the day when you had to change your clocks? You literally had to manually change your clocks?
Yeah, but there are still some like analog clocks somewhere around your house, probably.
I mean, yeah, I have a regular clock.
I don't have
and,
a clock anywhere in my
you have,
house.
like,
It was
regular,
clocks.
You don't have a regular. I have a regular clock, like in my kitchen. I mean, I have a digital one on like the microwave, but I also have like a regular, two hands.
Microwave, that's it. You got to change the microwave.
Right, but that's what I'm getting at. The
Yeah.
oven and the microwave, you got to change.
microwave.
Don't you
change
think?
those yourself.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What about cars nowadays? I guess
I feel like cars.
It depends how new your car is.
my car's like a 2021.
Newer cars will automatically update, but older cars you have to do it yourself.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have to do it myself.
Really?
Yeah, I don't mind doing it to myself. I mean the whole thing, the clock.
The clock.
Did
Yes,
you know?
right.
Did you know though, Cappy?
I don't think I knew, but I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when it was coming.
I had no idea literally until this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I had no idea. I haven't seen anything about it.
One thing about your phone updating the time on its own, it's appreciated, right? I mean, because now you're not confused. Because again, you're going to walk into your kitchen and be like, well, it's not 10 o'clock. I thought, because you're going to see the microwave, you're going to see the oven. My phone, just about 2 or 3 days ago, did an update on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys updated your phone recently? at all? You have?
Well, remember the last time we talked about the most recent update that came out? You said you were behind by like 12 updates, like by 12 versions.
And your phone still worked?
Yeah.
Wow.
It must have been working really slow though.
He was having problems with it, and then that's the conclusion we came to, is that he hadn't updated his phone in like years.
Okay, so I woke up the other day and my phone went back to the like beginning screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, hi, welcome, what language do you want to use? That kind of
Like
a thing.
factory reset sort of thing.
Totally. Now, I didn't realize this, but now my entire email setup is different.
Yeah. Because I'm sure you configured it the way you wanted, but now it reset itself to the beginning.
Not exactly. I never configured anything.
Okay.
I just let it go in the default settings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the top...
Yeah, the default app is completely changed.
Right, so now at the top it says primary.
Mm-hmm.
Then to the right there's like a shopping cart, which means like anybody that's sending me email that has anything to do with like...
Buying things.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right. Then the next one says updates. So it's all like things I can see, like, just stuff that would normally be in my email feed. And then to the right of that is promotions. So while I must say, I think that the update is better, but I didn't ask for it.
And now you have to learn everything.
And now I'm confused. Like
I didn't ask for it. That's just the world we live in, Cappy. You need to get the update, and it's like it doesn't care if you don't like it.
Well,
people were mad when this update first came out because they didn't like the photo setup, because people are just used to the old thing, and then you just got to get used to it.
Is there a company that gives its consumers more things that they don't want than Apple? I mean, like, literally, YouTube, remember this? YouTube gave away free music and put it on people's phones. Everybody's like, I don't want this YouTube album.
I was one of those
literally.
people who did not want it.
It was free music. Like, I don't even care if I like YouTube or not. Like, they gave me music for free.
Yeah,
like
but nowadays, nobody pay. Like, you
like
pay for like the monthly thing, and that's it.
In a world where, like, I was a LimeWire guy, like, somebody just giving me music for free, like, I'm, like, hey, man, like, the sandwich might not be great, but I'm gonna eat it if it's free. Like, whatever,
Facts.
Like Beto says, if it's free, it's for me.
I'll take 3, like, whatever.
Well, all right, that's what you need to know. It's brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. All right, listen, I'm going to be honest with everybody here. I'm going to get real transparent right now, okay? I'm going to get raw, okay? I'm going to do all of them things, all right? George is not here. George has taken off. George is now in Denver. George is going to do whatever broadcast he's doing tonight for ESPN.
The Suns,
okay.
the
Suns and Nuggets.
Suns Nuggets.
Yeah.
All right, good game. Good game. George is going to go do that game. And it's kind of a good thing that he's gone.
Because you want to talk about things that he doesn't care about.
I want to talk about things that I find fun that he will make unfun for me. All right?
It's a good way to put it.
Example.
Okay.
So last night, we were all focused in on this Laker game. And we were all like, it was such an amazing game. Lindsay, did you go to the game?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Because I didn't see it at the game. I thought you were going to come up and hang out.
Well, I was walking around like seat changing, I was
Okay.
just all over the place.
Gotcha.
By the time I came up to the suite, it was the end of the game and no one was up there.
What are you talking about? I was there till the end, till after overtime. I left when the game actually ended.
I was going to say, really?
I didn't see it. Anyway, nonetheless. So one of the things that I really was enjoying last night was how star-studded the crowd was.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks are in town, so that means here's Spike Lee. That's kind of cool. And Ben Stiller's over here. I know he's a big Knicks fan. And you couldn't help but notice that Larry David was sitting courtside, right by where he tripped Shaquille O'Neal back in the day of Curb Your Enthusiasm. And sitting one seat over was Stephen A. Smith. And this, by the way, was on the day where it was starting to be announced that Stephen A. got a new contract with ESPN, 5 years, $100 million, $20 million a year. And what makes Stephen A.'s contract even better is that he gets paid almost twice as much to do almost half as much.
I mean, that's the dream, right?
Right. Work less, make more.
Yeah.
But we all then saw later in the night the video that went viral where LeBron comes and gets into Stephen A.'s face, and you don't see Stephen A. You see his back. Somebody must have videos somewhere, Marcus, of LeBron's back.
The reverse angle.
Correct.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it yet. So I will just say this about Stephen A., and then we can get into where you stand on all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm going to say about Stephen A. He's worth every penny of the $100 million. In fact, I might even go so far as to say he might still be a little bit underpaid. Because I saw somebody today put out like the list of the top 10 highest paid media personalities, and Charles Barkley's making like $21 million. Tom Brady makes $36 million.
Yeah.
If Charles Barkley makes more than Stephen A. and Stephen A. works way more than Charles Barkley, I still think he's underpaid.
Well, that was part of his deal. If you saw that he's no longer going to be on NBA Countdown, which I'm pretty sure most of the games now are going to go to the TNT crew. And he's going to have less daily appearances. And that was part of the deal. Like, he's going to be free to appear more on other platforms.
Yeah, he's going to work less and he's going to make more. So good for Stephen A. Smith. But here's the point. When you're as famous now as Stephen A. Smith is for being a loudmouth, for being opinionated, outspoken, having something to say about everything and everybody, sometimes when you're that famous and you're sitting courtside, sometimes the subject matter may want to come over and have some words. And when that happens, you know what happens to guys like me? The next morning at 7 a.m., I'm like, I got to see what he's going to say. And then I want to turn on First Take because I know that he's going to say something that I got to hear at 7 o'clock in the morning. And for that, Stephen A. Smith is worth every penny of $20 million a year.
I mean, I think one of the things that he has mastered is taking things that he says that are opinion and having that be the engine for the news cycle for that day. And whether or not it's just him continuing to talk about it or other people talking about what he said. I mean, showmanship matters. Showmanship means a lot. I mean, without getting political, I mean, we have people who are running this country who understand showmanship. And that is what he does maybe better than anybody at this point. Love him or hate him, I think to your point, I think there are maybe probably more people who hate watch First Take than watch it because they love it. And if you're ESPN, you don't care. You don't care why people are watching.
Right.
You just want people to watch it. That's all.
Right. Right. If people don't have an opinion about you, then you're vanilla. And when people have a strong opinion about you, love you or hate you, that's what it's all about. So that really leads me to what I want to get to next. And like I said, I had to wait for Dad to leave for me to have this kind of fun because he was going to rain all over my parade. Stephen A. and LeBron toe-to-toe last night. What side are you on? Because it seems like everybody has drawn a line. You're either on the LeBron side of this or you're on the Stephen A. side of this. Let's get to that next. But before I do, let me talk about Coors Light. I had an icy cold Coors Light last night, Marcus. I went down to Fleming's here in LA Live, and I saw my man Richard, who's the operating partner, and I said, hey, man, I came in for a quick one, and then I'm going to walk over to the game. Hey, I want to tell everybody right now, icy cold Coors Light is your beer of choice. We are keeping Southern California chill, and the one thing, especially as we're getting ready to watch these clocks change, here comes the summer, here comes longer days, but you know what? Here come playoffs right around the corner. And we're not talking about scratching and clawing, playing in. We're talking about real playoffs. So it's the thing that keeps all sports fans coming back and keeping us all together. It is icy, cold Coors Light, keeping Southern California chill. You can either get it delivered to your crib or you can go out and you can get it. It's Friday. It is time for icy cold Coors Light.
This is LAFC manager Steve Cherundolo.
LAFC fans remember who knocked out the black and gold in last year's playoffs.
And now it's time for some payback on the Sounders.
to refi because it'll take several years of savings to recoup the closing costs for a refi? The Loan Exchange says the rule is nonsense. With a Loan Exchange free closer, you can lower your rate without paying any cost whatsoever. That's right, lower your rate with no cost and your balance doesn't go up. You start saving on the first day you have the loan and every day thereafter. If you decide to move next year or rates drop further, you can exchange that loan for another without losing a dollar that was tied up in closing costs. Today's 30-year fixed free closer rate in APR is 5.99%. So if your current mortgage rate is higher than 5.99%, give the Loan Exchange a call at 855-752-9944 or log on to theloanexchange.com. It won't cost you a thing. NMLS 1637539. Loan subject to credit approval. See website for licensing information, loan terms and conditions. Equal housing lender. Call 855-752-9944 or visit theloanexchange.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the A to Z savings event at AutoZone.
Yeah, happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with the rotors.
Free. Really?
Really, free.
Okay, I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah, how much is that?
Free with 5 quarts of oil.
Free? Really?
Really, free. It's part of the A to Z savings event.
You might as well call it A to free.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
It's the LA Afternoon Takeover on 710 ESPN.
Man, I hate when my brain is right and my heart is wrong.
It was so close to having your brain wrong and your heart right, too.
Oh, it would have been so much fun if that were the case.
More Sedano and Cap right now.
Oh, look what's going on here.
Look at this.
This is unbelievable.
Look at this.
I'm not even sure exactly what happened here.
I mean, if I had a knife, I would cut this and we could share this thing.
All right, Marcus Grant is in for Sedano.
Well, apparently you get your own.
Okay, hold on a second here. You cut this thing. You've heard the story today, right? That the Costco guys were here?
Yes.
AJ and Big Justice?
Big Justice.
Right. And for those of you that hit me up on Twitter and saw AJ and Big Justice and the promo that they had from earlier in the week where they're at the Laker game and they're like, we're going on Sedano and Cap, boom! And people were on Twitter going, I'll never listen to this station again. I'll never listen to this show again. Why would you bring these losers on, et cetera, et cetera. All I know is this, guys. I asked my daughters, they're 22, 21, and 18, and they think the Costco guys are really cool.
There you go.
So,
hey, we got another surprise from Funch. Funch brought in the double chocolate chunk cookies.
Oh, for real?
Double chocolate
chunk cookies.
Yeah.
So what is the story? So the guys, AJ and Big Justice, they got famous
from eating Costco for
just like reviewing Costco food.
Yeah,
but did it start with this chicken bake thing?
Yes, that was like the original one or the chocolate chunk cookies.
All right, what is Funchy's here.
Funchy's here. He brought them in.
Funchy Love is in the house.
He's the best.
Funch, what is the Costco chicken bake, Funchy?
He's about to talk right now.
All right, here he comes.
She's getting headphones.
Here he comes. Funch, define the Costco chicken bake.
The chicken bake.
Yeah, is that what this is called?
This is a chicken bake. It's made from a chicken breast, also Caesar dressing, bacon, and cheese, all rolled up in this little, calzone.
Okay, I've never had this before.
It's pretty delicious.
No, and I love Costco.
They're pretty good.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, hold on. DeAndre, how many booms you give this thing?
Give it 5 big booms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Boom!
Boom! Right.
Very good.
Yeah, you like it?
It's delish. It's awesome.
Pretty good, yeah.
I don't like
Thanks, Funchy. You're a lifesaver.
I don't love it.
You know, you can buy them frozen too.
Yeah,
Like,
you
don't have
could. You could.
They've frozen.
But here's the
inside
thing.
store.
I don't know if you can replicate the way they cook it at home.
I think if you have like an air fryer or a toster oven, I think you could.
It's like they do something different. They do it with love or something.
Maybe
is that what the case is?
Maybe with love. I don't know about that.
So, Funch, were you inspired?
I love it.
Were you inspired to go to Costco today and get these Costco chicken
I heard the
bakes?
Costco guys were coming in. I just missed them or whatever, but I did see him at the game the other night, and we crossed paths.
Really?
And they're really nice. Yeah, I talked to them for a little bit, and they were really nice.
Yeah, they were very nice people. You know?
Yeah.
I particularly like that little kid.
I mean, look, you become famous over eating Costco food.
Costco
Like,
food, exactly.
It's hard
What
to
is
be a
going
jerk
on?
Like,
Yeah.
when that is your life, you know?
And I love Costco.
Costco's pretty great.
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah. So it's the chicken bake, which is the chicken and some sort of, I don't know what, it looks like a chicken salad of sorts inside.
Yeah, it's like
here.
a Caesar dressing and also bacon and cheese.
I mean,
you cannot beat that.
Bacon makes everything better.
Exactly.
You know what? I just had a second bite.
It's good.
It's pretty damn good. First bite, I had to get over like, oh, this is so bad for me. Second bite, I'm like, oh God, that is damn good.
You gotta just embrace it. Just eat it, man.
I know.
Gotta embrace
You don't think too hard about it.
All right, so Funchy, you brought the boom, man.
Boom.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the
Pretty
way.
good.
Thanks, Funch. You're the
And,
best.
so also got the cookie in studio as well. Whenever you guys want to come in and take a little piece of it.
I mean, I'm going to eat
Did
the
you
whole,
did
whole
you just
thing.
go to Costco just for this, or did you have like
No,
some
I went
other
to Costco
reason?
just for this.
Really?
Yeah, because he found out that me and
Oh my
DeAndre
God!
had never had it.
I found out all you guys have never had a chicken bake before, so I had to go get a chicken
Plus,
bake.
I mean,
for
you only
guys.
have to go to the food court. You don't actually have to go inside
No,
the store to
no,
get
no,
these,
no,
you
no,
know?
no.
How much is a chicken bake?
About $4.
And how big is it? I mean, because
It's like long. It's super. It's.
did I have
huge.
half? Did I have half of one of these things?
Yeah, you
Really?
that's half.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
And also they got the hot dog for $1.50.
Which will always be a dollar.
Yes,
the
the
founder
owner.
said it will always be $1.50.
Exactly.
He will
With a
never raise
soda.
the
With a
price.
soda.
Really? I
And
my
a pizza.
My mother's that kind of person. My mother's like, the hot dog at Costco is the best. That's the best hot dog, Tatala.
I mean, the pizza's not bad too. You can get a whole pie for
like
$10.
$12, yeah.
Yeah, it's not
But
bad.
the only thing is, since COVID, you can't get the combo pizza, which is the best thing that they have.
Wait,
The combo pizza has like everything on it.
right?
Like
But why
I love it.
why did COVID shut that down?
I think because the vegetables and stuff like that. I don't know. Whatever.
You don't know.
I don't know, dude. But they don't have it no more.
He's trying to make up
let
an
me
answer.
know. Let me know. Somebody
I mean,
on
whatever
social
he
media.
said, I
yeah.
would have bought.
Yeah,
I would have
right.
bought it. I'm like, oh yeah,
Right.
okay,
If
sure.
you,
I mean, I
if
don't
you would
know.
have just said the vegetables and left it at that.
But since COVID, since the pandemic, they never had it. So
Okay.
never brought it back.
All right. Funchy, what an angel.
I love you guys too.
Appreciate
what
you,
an
sir.
angel.
I'm here.
We miss
know.
you, Funch.
We know you're here,
Get out.
and we miss you.
Summer of Funch coming soon.
So let me go back to where we ended the last segment. Marcus, when you see LeBron James walk up to Stephen A. Smith and look like, I mean, listen, I'm just telling you what it looked like to me. It looked like to me like LeBron James was saying, I will kick your ass. I will mess you up. I'm bigger. I'm stronger. I'm tougher. By the way, I'm riled up. I'm sweaty. My
don't
heart
think he
is
said all
beating.
that.
Okay. Well, no, that's just the body language. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I
it's
mean,
just-
there's like a lip reader that like...
yeah, I'm not so sure I buy the lip reader. I had a well because I kept trying to focus in on what he was saying and I couldn't figure it out.
I think it looks pretty accurate.
All right. So what did the lip reader say that LeBron said to Stephen A?
Hang on, I'm pulling it up here.
All right. Because I just want to get everybody's opinion because I feel like the whole country today took a side. You're either on Stephen A's side or you're on LeBron's side. And you probably could back up whichever side you're on. But Marcus, you saw it last night.
Yep.
What'd you think?
Well, first, I mean, like everybody else, you wondered what exactly was said. What did Stephen A. originally say to get this sort of reaction from LeBron? And I think when you dive back through the history, I think it's an accumulation of things. And I think that is where I side with LeBron. That at some point, like, yes, I get it. You are paid a lot of money to give your opinion on all things sports and things beyond the world of sports. There is a point, though, where you have made your point. And I think for LeBron, it is the continued shots at Bronny. It's like, okay, we get it. He's in the league because of who his father is, and he's getting minutes. And maybe there's somebody else out there who would love to get those minutes who doesn't have a famous father. Point made. But it seems like the continued tweaks and pokes and shots at Bronny, at some point there's a line there. And I think for LeBron, that line has been crossed, and it became a leave my son's name out of your mouth.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Leave my son's name out
He
your
said,
damn mouth.
I'm going to tell you one time, bro, keep my son out of this bleep, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't have to walk on stage and slap Chris Rock.
Correct.
All right.
Can you imagine if he did that like Oscars slap style?
So Marcus, you say that an accumulation of Stephen A's criticism of Bronny is what leads LeBron to do this.
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Lindsay, we know your affection for LeBron. We know the glazing that goes on when it comes to LeBron. So what do you think here? Are you on Team LeBron or are you on Team Stephen A?
I think he's being a dad. And, like, if that were you, what would you do? You know? And I think nobody knows how someone's going to react in a situation like that, but I don't have a problem with him, like, saying something to him.
Okay. We got 2-0 for LeBron.
It's kind of excessive, I guess.
Okay, we had 2-0 for LeBron so far. DeAndre, you saw it. You witnessed it. You checked it out on social media. You've heard Stephen A's response. Whose side you on?
I get where LeBron's coming at. I wish it would have been handled differently. Obviously, during the game is somewhere like, wow, you know, because obviously how that game was going, and obviously Stephen A being courtside, that I think that's the only time LeBron was probably going to be able to see him and actually be able to air it out at that moment. But I feel for I see LeBron as a father, and obviously that was a moment where it's something that's been brewing up for a while because, I mean, he's paying attention to the media. So I feel like, you know, LeBron is kind of right in this.
That's a good point. For him to, like, he's very calculated with everything he does. So for him to do it in a public way like that, I'm sure he could have easily texted him or had somebody, you know, texted him and just be like, hey, man, that's not cool.
I mean, Stephen A said it this morning, like, you know, hey, he has my number. Like, they all have my number.
Right.
Like, so.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you guys right now. I guess I'm all alone. I'm not surprised, but I guess I'm all alone. I'm on Team Stephen A. Let me tell you something real quick, and then we'll get to Radio Tinder, and we'll bring this back. You're in the middle of a freaking game, bro. Since everybody's calling each other bro, I thought I'd add to that, you know. You're in the middle of a game. What if the Lakers would have lost this game? You know, how much different would people's reaction be today? They'd be like, what's he doing? It's the middle of the game. Why would you take the time in the middle of a game when your mind is on focusing on winning and coming back? Focus. Why would you go over to Stephen A. Smith and give him this sort of publicity, especially if he's as calculated as we all think that he is? LeBron didn't know what he was doing? LeBron didn't think that 20,000 people there with cameras would see LeBron and Stephen A. Smith having a conversation at a timeout where LeBron looks pissed? What is he doing?
This is the other part of this that we don't know and may never know. Did Stephen A. say something in the moment? Did he say something over, you know, during a timeout, during an inbound? I mean, there had to have been something. Like, I don't think it was just that LeBron looked over and saw Stephen A. Smith and is like, hey, man, I got something to get off my chest. Like, you wonder, was there a spark that sort of ignited this whole thing? And that's a part that we don't know and may never, ever know.
He was circling around the whole building, though. Like, Stephen A., he was circling around the whole building, doing his laps and talking, you know, to a bunch of, you know, agents and stuff like that. And it just so happened that he had courtside seats right next to the Lakers bench. So
well, that's just it. I mean, he's also sitting next to Larry David. He's also sitting next to Ari Emanuel, who is like the guy who runs whatever it is. I think it's CAA or Endeavor, one of these, or maybe they're the same thing. Huge agencies. He's the guy that, you know, Ari Gold was, you know, the character right on Entourage. He knows where he is. He knows who he's talking to. He knows that it's a timeout. And I keep looking at the video and I see that the people are walking away with the signage. It makes me think that this happened like right before or right after the guy hit that $100,000 shot. And I'm just thinking to myself, LeBron, you got a game here. You got a season that all of a sudden could turn magical. And you're going to waste your time and your focus in game.
Oh, so was this right after halftime? Or right before or right after halftime?
It was after.
Yeah, it had to have been. I'm telling you, you can see the people in the background that are cleaning up the signage.
I have less of a problem if it's during a break. Like if it, I think I would feel more about it if it were like during a timeout. You know, like they were coming out of the huddle. Like
they were coming out of the huddle.
Yeah, it is a timeout.
They were coming out of the huddle because at the time Markieff Morris was standing right next to him, and then one of the centers, Trey Jemison, was walking out too.
I'm trying to get timing. Like, is it after it's not after the dude hit the half court shot? Or
I kind of think
Parker
it was.
told me it was in the fourth quarter. He just texted me.
Oh, see, that feels a little different. But again, I just feel like there had to have been some sort of catalyst to get LeBron to respond that way.
My other point is this, and again, we'll come up to Radio Tinder and then we'll get back to it. My other point is this. Not only should you be focusing on the game and trying to keep your head in the game when you're trying to make a comeback, the other part of it is if you're as media savvy as everybody says that you are, what do you think? Nobody was going to see this? Or did you want everybody to see this?
I think it's that.
Was it for performance sake? And the other part of it is this. LeBron has done this. I'm with Stephen A. because LeBron did this to Bronny. 2 years ago when Bronny was still in high school, he's sending out tweets going, man, I'm watching League Pass, and Bronny's better than a lot of these guys. LeBron did this. So why is he mad at Stephen A.?
You don't think there's a point at which it's like, all right, man, we get it. Like, we've spent so much time, like the national conversation about the NBA has been that media analysts don't talk about the NBA. And now if you're Stephen A. Smith and you're devoting all this time to every so often just sending out these shots at a kid we know is on the end of the bench, needs development, right? Like at some point it's like, all right, man, we get it. Like, let's talk about something else that's actually more relevant, right? And like I think LeBron's coming at it obviously from the point of view of a father where it's like, hey man, you're attacking my kid. But I think even for me as a fan, it's like, all right, man, we know who Bronny is. We know what his situation is. We don't need to talk about that. There's so many other storylines in this league right now.
See, I'm with Stephen A. I think that LeBron did this to LeBron. LeBron did this to Bronny. LeBron turned this into the circus that it is. LeBron's the guy that forced the Lakers to sign the kid.
Is it still a circus now? Like, I think at this point we're so far into the season that it's just like, Bronny gets his minutes and like it just happened.
But who would be talking about it today if it wasn't for LeBron going up to Stephen A?
I mean, nobody.
Right. To me, this is about LeBron. All right, listen, to be continued. Radio Tinder is coming up next. Hey, I just want to remind everybody that ESPN LA is a very proud partner of Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, and it's the 10th annual Make March Better campaign. ESPN LA will be auctioning off exclusive 710 experiences. We thank our friends at the Pacific Palms Resorts, Fleming Steakhouse, Black Gold Golf Club. All proceeds will be donated to CHLA. Visit 7104chla.com to make a difference today. Radio Tinder is next.
What's up, kiddos? Clinton Yates here. ESPN LA is proud to partner with Children's Hospital Los Angeles for the 10th annual Make March Matter campaign, helping kids get the breakthrough care they need. CHLA gives families hope with leading-edge research and treatments. ESPN LA is auctioning off exclusive 710 experiences like catching a USC women's basketball game courtside next season with me and producer Emily. Every dollar raised goes to CHLA. Visit 710forchla.com to bid and make a difference today. That's 710forchla.com.
Right now, Kohl's is giving away millions in instant Kohl's Cash in stores for free. Yup, that's right, because the Kohl's Cash Ultimate Giveaway is back. Hurry in to claim yours while supplies last. Plus, you can score 3 days of deals in store and online this weekend. So don't miss out. Head to your nearest Kohl's this Friday through Sunday before it's too late. Kohl's Cash Giveaway valid in store only. Redeemable only that day. Some exclusions apply. Not valid on Sephora at Kohl's while supplies last. Ends March 9th. See store at Kohl's.com for details.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Pour down in the rinse change. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your game all season long on Prize Picks, and it's the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. The app is super easy to use. You just create a lineup. All you have to do is pick more or less on a few players for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. And on Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections on different sports. Combine your favorite basketball players with your best guys from baseball, hockey, esports, and much, much more. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Download the app today and use code 710 to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code 710 for first-time users. Prize Picks, run your game.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Sedano and Cap on 710.
I'm a cocky son of a like, there's no question about that.
Sedano and Cap continues right now.
I'm assuming there's a purpose for this?
This song, we always play a TV theme song right before Radio Tinder. You know what show this is?
This is The Office.
Right.
This is The Office.
I thought, wait, have you seen the show, or is this the one you haven't seen, Cap?
I don't know The Office at all. Like, I don't know The Simpsons at all. But I do know the song.
The Simpsons? It's been on for like 40 years.
I know, and it's one of those things like, hey, listen, when Mason said earlier today he's never been in a Costco, I think that's worse than me never seeing The Simpsons.
Honestly, at this point, like, if you haven't seen The Simpsons now, like, don't start now.
No, but weirdly, The Office is a show that I never watched that everybody tells me is so awesome. So, like, when I come across it, I'll actually stop and try and get to know it a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not, like, an Office super fan. Like, I haven't seen every episode, but I've seen quite a bit of it. Like, it is. It's entertaining. I do like the show.
It's Jenna Fisher's birthday. She plays Pam.
Okay.
So happy birthday,
Pam Beasley.
Mm-hmm.
It's also Bryan Cranston's birthday. He's 69 today.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday, Bryan.
Happy
Love
birthday
him.
to Bryan Cranston.
Friend of the station.
He is a friend of the station, although I can't say that he's a friend of mine. I've never met him. I mean, I'd like to meet him.
Did he ever do anything after Malcolm in the Middle? I don't
know. Did he?
I have no idea.
You know what's funny is when I was back home for the holidays, my mom is like, she's somebody who like is a big binge watcher, but it takes her a lot to get into a show. Like, she loved like Orange is the New Black. She loved it so much she watched like the British version of it. So when I was home, I was like, have you ever seen Breaking Bad? And she was like, no. And I like explained the concept, and she was like, I don't know. Doesn't sound like something I'd want to watch. She watched one episode and she was hooked. Like, watched like 5 episodes like over that weekend.
Well, I got to watch. I got to catch up on Reacher. I'm an episode down. You watch Reacher at all?
I watched the first season and a half. I think I watched most of season 2, but I've not watched any of the new seasons.
So they're into episode 5. They gave you the first 3 episodes. I binged them in like one night, and then I was like, well, let me go to 4, and it wasn't. Now I had to wait a week.
That's the worst.
The worst. And then now I'm waiting for this week, and I even got a text today from Michael Trudell. And Trudell,
very formal of you.
Very formal. And Trudell was like, I mean, why would Reacher stay in this job? And he's like analyzing what's going on in episode 3.
Wait, does Reacher actually
something
have
like
a
that.
job? Like, I just thought he was sort of like he just walked the earth and righted wrongs.
He does, but in this particular season, season 3, Reacher, I don't want to blow it for
He's
everybody.
kind of like helping out.
Well, right, Reacher's having to lend a hand, and therefore he's kind of playing a security guy, if you will,
Got
to
it.
a
Okay.
rich guy. And,
All right.
and Mike Trudell's like, why, Cappy? Why? Why is he staying there? Come on, Reacher, get out of there.
It's in the script, Mike.
Yeah, I know. I told Trudell, I go, Mike, last year, end of season 2, with Reacher hanging on to that helicopter, that's when reality just went out the window.
I still can't get over the fact, because I was kind of unfamiliar with the character until I saw the first season, that, part of his whole thing is being like obnoxiously large.
Yep.
And it just blew my. I was like, wait, but didn't Tom Cruise play Reacher
Apparently
in a couple of movies?
yeah.
And he is notoriously small,
Right.
so I was very curious how that worked.
By the way, just one quick shout out. Thank you to, and I got to figure out who did this, but one of our great listeners knew that Sedano did not like the Costco guys, so he actually took off the little kid's head.
Big Justice.
They took off Big Justice's head and they put on Sedano's head.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
They took off Big Justice and they put on Sedano. And by the way, people are hitting us up about everything today. $2 bills, how to fix your email based on the update that Apple did. I mean, we're getting a lot of really great feedback today about everything other than like sports stuff that we're talking about.
because that's the least interesting thing we've talked about so far.
Apparently so. All right, Lindsay, baseball, what do we got?
Well, it's kind of a sports story. So apparently, according to Barry Bonds, the unwritten rules of baseball would have come back to bite Shohei Ohtani if he played back in, his days. So he was on the All the Smoke podcast. Great podcast. Shout out to those guys. And he was asked about Shohei, and he said that, the pitching and hitting is outstanding. What he's done base running, like he's a complete player. But then he said, the game has changed. The game is way different when I played. He was saying that, in back when he played, if he were to hit a home run, then he'd get hit right in the head or very close to it. He'd get a pitch going zip and pointed to his head. And said that you had to be defensive because of that. And you also had to, choose your spots. So he said, I had to be a little bit more defensive and be more of a contact hitter to get out of a problem. And nowadays, they can just hit. And sometimes I think it could be a disadvantage. He said today's game, they take batting practice all day. They take batting practice at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up the order. Those guys hit more than I've ever seen in my lifetime that we didn't do. But you know what's crazy? I'm pretty sure that, the number of, home runs and runs have gone down quite a bit. Just on average per year since he played. So I was going to ask you guys, do you agree with Barry Bonds that it was harder to be the kind of player that Shohei is back in his day?
Marcus, what do you think?
This is Tinder, right? I'm swiping left on that. I'm not buying it. And not to say that it was easy for Barry, right? Obviously, when he was at his peak and he was, hitting 70 home runs in a year, he would go a week and not see a strike. The teams just weren't pitching to him. But I also don't think that, he was getting brushed back an enormous amount with all of the hitting he was doing. I'm sitting here looking at his career stats. And there were a couple years he got hit by 10 pitches, a couple of 9s, 8s. It wasn't like he would hit a bomb and next thing he knew he was ducking. The other part of it is pitching, I think, is more difficult to hit now when you've got guys who are maxing out on spin rates and velocity and that sort of thing. Barry had still played in an era where you might actually see the same guy 3 times in a game, whereas Shohei might get 4 at-bats against 3 different pitchers. It's just different now.
So just really quick here, Cappy, if you take everything into account that you just said, I just looked up league by league or year by year league batting averages, right? Going back to 2000, and it has gone down anywhere from 2 to 3% over the past 24 years, with where it was 270 back in 2000, and now the batting average is down to 243 in 2024. So he's wrong for the most part when it comes to that, when he says everybody's just hitting batting practice all the time. And the home runs average total has gone down too. It's gone from 1.2 to 1.1.
Well, the home run total should go down. Back in Barry Bonds' day, everybody was all sauced up, right?
Exactly.
But I will say this. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to swipe left, and I'm going to say that I'm kind of with Barry Bonds on this. Your point is right on, Marcus, that when you look at the number of times that Barry Bonds was actually hit by a pitch, the only difference would be this, though. Every time Barry Bonds went up to the plate, he's thinking in his mind, I hit a home run last time up. They may be coming for me this time, when baseball policed itself. Nowadays, nobody is going to pitch high and inside. Nobody's going to brush a guy off the plate, and nobody's going to intentionally hit a guy. It's kind of like hockey. The reason we all love that tournament so much when they all were fighting is because we don't see fighting in hockey anymore. I guess all I'm trying to say is that I tend to agree with Barry Bonds that back in his day, there was a fear factor every time he stepped in that they may be coming for me.
I also didn't think I'd live to see Barry Bonds become a back in my day guy. Because I saw the quote and I was like, wow, he's become one of those guys now.
He's also become all of a sudden, I think, likable again. I
don't know. He seems pretty bitter.
I like Barry Bonds.
It's funny because it took a while. And I remember, his godfather was Willie Mays. And that was one of the things I think Willie tried to impress upon him when he was playing. Is hey, look, he's like, I was really hard to get along with when I played, and the media didn't like me, and it made my life a lot more miserable. I think he tried to encourage Barry to maybe be a little nicer. Not that it took.
Yeah.
I think maybe now that he's not playing and he doesn't have those day-to-day pressures and people putting mics in his face, maybe he is a little nicer.
When you see Barry Bonds now, you're like, who's that guy? You're like, that's Barry Bonds. Like, no, that's not Barry Bonds. Because now Barry Bonds looks like Pittsburgh Pirates Barry Bonds.
His head's a normal
Right,
size again?
rather than Giants Barry Bonds. All right, how about this with one more, Lindsay Baseball? What do you think?
All right, so are you guys familiar with the actress Brenda Song?
Brenda Song.
Yes.
Maybe
She
if I
was
saw a
in
picture.
Running Point, which is that new Netflix series
Oh.
that's like loosely based on like Jeannie Buss.
Okay, haven't seen it yet.
Anybody?
I have not seen it.
I haven't. I tried watching it. I thought it was terrible. She's also married to Macaulay Culkin.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
She was in. I'm trying to think like what other movies. She was in The Sweet Life with Zach and Cody. You guys wouldn't have known that song.
Yeah,
It's 20 years old,
missed
yeah.
that,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what else. I knew who she was before this came out, but anyway, she kind of went viral.
She was in The Social Network.
Oh yes, that's one. That was a big one. So she kind of went viral when she did this interview where she was asked about the Rams and them facing Saquon Barkley and the Eagles at one point. So I'm just gonna play for you what she said.
If you're the Rams defensive coordinator, what would you have done to prevent Saquon Barkley from running for 200 yards in consecutive games?
Well, let me tell you, Chris Shula. I like you a lot. I like what you've done with our front four. But my issue is we don't have a run stopper. And we don't use our middle linebackers in the middle. We can't stop the run. That's our biggest problem besides our O-line. We cannot stop the run. Let's talk about Mike LaFleur and our OC, about our O-line and why Jalen Carter sacked Matthew Stafford, why the Philadelphia score should have been 28-29 and Rams should have been. We would have merged Commanders. Sorry, love you, love you, Jaden Daniels, but we'd have been the Super Bowl. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Go Birds. What's your greatest regret in life?
Not being an offensive lineman, so I could have protected Matt Stafford from that Jalen Carter sack.
Start bulking up now. You got cake left on your plate.
I mean,
Brenda.
let's do it. Bring me that pasta back.
So I was gonna ask you guys,
here we go.
For,
a little annoying.
I love Eagles fan DeAndre being like, "Here we go."
I'll start with you, D. What do you think about what she just said?
Look, if you were trying to stop Saquon Barkley, look, like Jalen Hurts was. We're not gonna act like Jalen Hurts did not have a great playoff run. Like this man was an MVP for a reason. Like, what are we doing? Like, okay, you could if you stop Saquon Barkley, then what? Okay, cool. Like the Eagles had other weapons in that team. Like Saquon Barkley, yes, he was a big focal point on that offense. And then this Matthew Stafford notion. I'm sorry, I get it. I was nervous when Matthew Stafford and the Rams were driving down that field. But once again, that ball was nowhere near going to be completed on that right side of the field. I'm sorry, for the last time, it was not going to be completed at all.
I just love that he's so bothered by this.
Yeah.
Like he's so bothered.
Because
he's all Eagle dripped out.
Because this like every time like
you guys won, it's over.
I know, but I'm just saying like I still get people like, man, the Rams, you know, they're the only team to really give you guys a game. Yeah, they were. But like the regular season, the Eagles dominated the Rams in the regular season. It wasn't even close. And then playoffs, yeah, you can make the conditions with the weather and all that stuff, cool. But again, like the Eagles were the best team in football.
I loved her passion. I love the fact that she had a plan. Like she knew, or at least she felt like she knew what
She was fired up.
What the deficiencies were. Like she, she directly called out Chris Shula. I mean, like I loved everything about that clip.
I was
That
gonna ask,
amazing.
like, do you guys think she knows ball?
I don't know. I found it to be annoying. I don't know if it
So
was.
you don't
I
think
know
that
if-
she knows ball?
I don't know if it was the pace of which she was speaking, or if it was all the different things she was
was a
talking
fast
about.
talker.
She's a very
I don't know
fast
about
talker.
her talking about the inability to stop Saquon Barkley. It was not just not having a run stopper. It was. There's a lot more to what happened. I mean, Saquon Barkley was a beast this year, and he beat up on the Rams twice. That's
He
just
beat
a
up on
fact.
a lot of people this year.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't. It was.
So
was
you
not
don't
just
think
only the Rams.
that they don't use the middle linebackers in the middle?
No, I think they use the middle linebackers on the outside.
I mean, I do think that's a thing the Rams should address. Though.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So she has a point, you're saying.
They lost their starting middle linebacker, wasn't it, before the start of the season?
Yeah, they traded him to Tennessee, right? Yeah.
So Brenda Song, she knows ball.
I guess
just
so.
a little annoying, according to Cappy.
Way to go, Brenda. Way to go. Way to go, girl. Okay, let me do this. We're going to come back and talk. I want to get back to the Stephen A. thing. I guess for me, the thing that I'm most interested in is that I love the drama. I can't get enough of it. I can take Charles Barkley and Kendrick Perkins. I can take Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James. And one of my favorite things now is video that is starting to surface. Because, Marcus, you were saying that what prompted LeBron to do this? And now there's some video that shows LeBron sitting in a timeout and then like getting up, standing up, almost like signaling to Markieff Morris, like, come with me for a second here, and then walking right up on Stephen A. Smith. So we get into all of that and lots more. Plus, the Raiders get their quarterback. We'll get to these stories and more. But first, let me talk about my home away from home, the East Central. So last night, I was at the East Central because it is the greatest location in downtown LA. If you're going to come to downtown LA and you want to go to the Grammy Museum, the East Central's right across the street. If you want to go to Crypto.com for this Sunday for a wrestling show, for a basketball game, for a hockey game, for a concert, it is literally right across the street. If you're coming into downtown LA and you're going to enjoy LA Live, the greatest place to be is the East Central Hotel. And last night, I booked 2 rooms at the East Central. I booked one for myself and one for my buddy who was in town. And we got back to the hotel last night. He goes, hey, man, the hotel rooms here are huge. And I'm like, yeah, I know. We actually mention that all the time. They are the biggest hotel rooms in all of downtown LA. So many mega hotels have sprouted up from the ground, and the rooms are half the size so they can pack in twice as many guests. The rooms at the East Central are huge. You can spread out. You can get comfortable. And oh, by the way, like I say all the time, the softest towels you've ever felt in a hotel. But really, in the final analysis, what it really comes down to for the East Central Hotel is this: the people who work there. I'm there every week, 2 nights a week, and they make you feel comfortable. They make you feel like very much like a home environment. So whether it's the Nixo Lounge or the brand new gym or the people who are working the front desk, I love them all. The East Central Hotel in downtown LA is entertainment's capital. That's right, the East Central Hotel in downtown LA.
After 32 points from Luka and another 31 from LeBron versus the Knicks, the winning streak rolls on.
8 in a row. The Lakers win again.
Now the purple and gold take their winning streak on a 4-game road trip, starting with Boston tomorrow.
Wide open LeBron for 3. It's good.
Lakers versus Celtics. Pre-game starts tomorrow at 4 p.m. on the home of Luka, LeBron, and the Lakers. 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforming-LAX. That's flylax.com/transforming-LAX.
Hey everybody, it's Cap. Inheriting a home can be overwhelming, but Seller's Advantage makes it easy. One customer shared, and I quote, "Inheriting a home felt like too much work. Seller's Advantage gave us a reasonable offer, handled everything, and closed in 3 weeks. I highly recommend them." End quote. Skip repairs and headaches. Call Seller's Advantage at 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Take a look at me.
I feel like your fat is less visceral.
Oh, really?
The LA Afternoon Takeover rolls on right now.
Marcus Grant is in for Sedano. It's Sedano and Cap on a Friday afternoon, coming off a big Laker win last night against the Knicks. But I don't think anybody was really talking so much about the game, even though it was a thriller and it was an amazing comeback and it went to overtime and you got contributions from Gabe Vincent, a guy who a lot of people kind of I've almost forgotten about because a year ago he was signed and then he was hurt and then he hadn't made much of a contribution. And then last night he was just on fire. He had a couple of monster threes down the stretch. But Marcus, it seems like instead of everybody talking about what happened last night at the game, or let me rephrase it, in the game, we seem to all be talking about what happened at the game, particularly between Stephen A. Smith and LeBron.
Yes, because one is arguably the biggest name in the sport currently. The other is a master showman who knows how to get content out of anything. And so why not? When you are the center of the content, would you not promote that?
Yeah, I still go back, though, and I still say this, that LeBron walks up to Stephen A. in game at a timeout and he's much bigger. He's got an angry look on his face. He chose that moment in the game. Why, I have no idea. And what's he trying to do? Is he trying to physically intimidate Stephen A. Smith? Because here's the thing. Stephen A. came on television this morning. He's like, hey, look, you got my phone number. Your agent's got my phone number. Your manager's got my phone number. All your business people have my phone number. If you want a piece of me, call me. Or better yet, tell me, hey, you'd like to have a face-to-face. I'll get on a plane. I'll fly out to L.A. I'll come visit with you man-to-man.
I mean, they did have a face-to-face.
Yeah, but
just not under Stephen A.'s terms.
Well, I mean, you're right. But why, though? Why did LeBron choose there and then? Because it's not as if LeBron is as calculated and as smart as everybody says, well, then that was a very calculated, smart move to have everybody talking about this. Why does he want everybody talking about this?
I don't know. I mean, so here's the thing. Do you think, maybe not for Stephen A., but for the rest of us, that the Bronny conversation, does it increase or decrease now?
Well, I would say that if this didn't happen last night, nobody is talking about Bronny James.
Mm-hmm.
But because this did happen last night, all of a sudden it brings people back to saying things like this. You ready? Well, LeBron did promote his son long before he was drafted. LeBron did tell everybody that his son was better than a lot of the players that he's watching in the league. LeBron did force the Lakers to draft him. The Lakers were essentially forced to give him a 4-year, like $12 million guaranteed contract. Why? So it makes people bring the story back. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I mean, that seems like the opposite of kind of what LeBron wanted, right? I mean, if that really was the impetus, if Stephen A's constant criticism was the impetus for LeBron to step up to him, then this potentially backfired.
Well, because he also called out LeBron. Stephen A. also called out LeBron and said, as a father, I'm telling you to stop. Remember?
Yeah. By the way, I agreed with him then too.
Want me to play that?
Sure, go ahead and play it.
Really trying to be as respectful as I possibly can be towards LeBron James. One of the top 2 or 3 players in the history of basketball, number 2 in my eyes. A treasure to the game of basketball that we should and will all miss when he is gone. I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this.
Stop it.
Stop this. Stop it. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. The first game of the season, opening night,
he's not done.
The Griffeys in attendance, father-son duo playing in an NBA game for first time, an absolutely positively wonderful story. And then reality sets in. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong. As you hone your skills and you get better, and you legitimately earn, which I believe he has the potential to do. I am rooting for Bronny James.
Yeah, what's so wrong with all this?
It would be cruel to root against him. It's a wonderful kid. I wish him nothing but the best.
What's so bad?
But he's LeBron James' son. And everybody knows what attention that brings.
All right.
Okay,
Just
that
one of
was
many.
One that was so schmaltzy and overdone. I'm sitting here with this chocolate chunk cookie from Costco, and I almost can't eat it now
chocolate chunk cookie.
because it just. as a father. Like, come on, man. Just
As
stop
a father.
Like, you're sitting here talking. You're talking like you're Vito Corleone. Like, what are you doing?
Tell him, Stephen A. You tell him, Stephen A. That's my dog.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Why is LeBron so thin-skinned? Come on, man. Play ball. I mean, seriously, you're in the middle of a game. You need to go and address Stephen A. Smith right now in the middle of the game.
Yeah, I think it's different when it's your kid. Even if he, puppet mastered a whole lot of what's happening now, I think there's still that visceral feeling of like somebody's attacking my kid. Like, I don't care who I am. I think there's just still a feeling about that. I think that's where LeBron is.
I feel like whose fault is that? That's my feeling. Come on, man. You did this to your kid. All right, well, listen, we're not going to agree on this. I can understand that. And I realize I'm a man on an island. It's me and Stephen A. by ourselves. Everybody else is going to cover for LeBron.
It's a well-paid island, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, for him it is. I'm just his valet. Stick around. We're getting to commercial-free 30 next on Sedano and Cap.
You never expect a massive trade between superstar players or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
There's only one team you can call on to play defense for you, the personal injury law offices of Joseph Esther.
I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons, and we want to buy your house.
If you're considering selling your home for any reason, let Seller's Advantage show you a better way to sell your home.
With no agent fees, no commissions, no hassles, and no repairs.
Just a fair cash offer that can close in just a few days. We don't just promise more, we deliver a much better customer experience.
Check out our Google reviews and see how.
Call Seller's Advantage or visit sellersadvantage.com for free, no obligation cash offer.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
To going all out to support our teams, one thing really ties it all together. Enjoying it all with good friends and a cold Coors Light. Pick up Coors Light near you or get it delivered to your door today. Visit CAChooseChill.com to learn more. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
This is the city, Los Angeles, California.
It's 5 p.m. in the Southland.
Turn it up, man.
Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing, thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney.
Visit RFR710.com or call 833-ESPN-710.
Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this? And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Bing, ba-da-bop. Yeah. Boom, ba-da-bing. Ding, da-da-boom. Boom, ba-da-bum. Ding, ba-da-bum. Yeah. Boom, ba-da-bing. Final hour of the week. The 5 o'clock hour on Friday. Marcus Grant in for Sedano. DeAndre flying this bird. Lindsay in the back organizing, suggesting, making it all come together. And we pull into commercial free 30 right here on Sedano and Cap. Hey, before we get back to all this NBA controversy, Marcus, I got to come back to, because we only made a quick mention of it when the story broke a little bit earlier today. But if you're a Raider fan, like me,
Okay.
they call me Raider Cap.
Obviously, yes.
Did you know this?
I did not know that.
You didn't know this?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know that you don't really have a lot of love in your heart for the lightning bolts.
No. Well, I support the LA teams, the Rams and the Raiders.
Got it.
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
But when my coach,
Also, he's a big Tom Brady lover.
That would seem to go against you
He
loving the
glazes
Raiders.
Tom Brady. Yeah, he glazes.
That would
Tom
seem to
Brady.
go against you loving the Raiders. Those two things seem to be at odds with one
No,
another.
because he's in the front office.
I guess now.
Part owner.
yeah, I do sort of glaze Tom Brady.
There's a little bit
You
of
glaze him all the time.
But I think there's some cognitive dissonance with Tom Brady. I mean, I guess he owned the Raiders for many years, so why not now?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Hey
a
now.
good one. Hey.
now.
Oh, wow.
All right, I just want to ask a quick question around here. You ready?
Yes.
All right, if I glaze Tom Brady, and I admit guilty as charged, all right? DeAndre, who do you glaze?
That's a great question. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one.
You glaze Saquon.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley. You're a big glazer.
I don't want to say. I want to say I glaze Saquon.
No, you don't glaze him?
I don't glaze Saquon. I guess I can say I glaze the Eagles. Yeah.
You're an Eagle glazer.
Yeah, I'm an Eagle
But
glazer.
you can't glaze a whole team, can you?
Why not?
I don't think. I mean,
It has to be one individual.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
glaze LeBron all the time.
We
I
know
get it.
Lindsay glazes LeBron.
Yeah, for sure.
She just all over.
And Evan Mobley. I love Evan Mobley.
In fact, your glazing of LeBron is actually more glaze than my glaze of Tom Brady. In fact,
Probably.
we had those Randy's donuts earlier today. You would have had a double glazed LeBron donut compared to my single glazed Brady glazing. But I liked your glazing. Marcus, do you glaze anybody?
I mean, I guess if I had to pick someone, right now it's probably Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, really?
Yeah, probably Shohei. I mean, just
He's worthy of glazing.
what like at some point last season he was doing ridiculous things, and I would go on the Blue Review with with Corporate Greg and Parker Bell, and which by the way comes back in just a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And like he would do ridiculous things the night before, and we would just kind of be like, yeah, man, that's just Shohei, man. He can do everything. Like that just kind of became the refrain.
All right, so you glaze on Shohei.
Probably Shohei.
Okay, so here's the thing. I became a hardcore, lifelong, ride or die Raider fan about 2 weeks ago. All right, hold on. All right, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Okay. We're going way back now.
Yeah. I'm going deep, man. Once my Raiders hired Pete Carroll, that was it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was all in on the Raiders. And I tell you something today, the Raiders make a move, and they're obviously, we all know that the Raiders are desperately searching for a quarterback.
Yes.
So first the story was last week or during the combine, Matthew Stafford is visiting with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's putting the sell on Stafford. Stafford's contemplating leaving the Rams, and they're together in Montana. And depending on whose story you believed, it was coincidence that they ran into each other, or, Matthew Stafford always coincidentally runs into teams that he's interested in playing for. Sometimes it's Cabo in warm weather. Sometimes it's Montana in cold weather. Who knows? So the Raiders lose out on Matthew Stafford, as did the New York Giants, who apparently felt that they were going to get him as well. And then the conversation for the Raiders quarterback all turns to Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Why? He's available.
Yes.
He's in dire need of a rehab of his career / reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll has the credentials to have earned his respect from a guy like Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Tom Brady overseeing this whole thing. That's Max Crosby signing a new deal this past week that makes him the highest paid player in the NFL's history that's not a quarterback.
Yep.
Talking about Aaron Rodgers, things started to point towards maybe Aaron Rodgers is going to become the quarterback of the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
What makes today's story that Geno Smith is being traded from the Seahawks to the Raiders so amazing, at least from my perspective, as a lifelong Raider fan.
Right.
That no one would have seen this coming.
No, because like with all those other situations, there's always chatter. There's always a hint of a rumor floating around on social media or something. And so maybe it would be improbable, but a lot of things are not fully unexpected. This just appeared. I mean, literally, we were having a conversation about something else, and you saw it scrolled across your Twitter feed. It was almost as shocking as, well, almost as the Luka trade, right? Because it was the same thing. The Luka trade just materialized out of nowhere. And same thing with this, where all of a sudden, I mean, I assumed Geno Smith was going to be the starting quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks next year, just like he was this past year. So now to see this, yeah, a little disorienting.
But the Raiders, if it wasn't going to be Matthew Stafford, then it was likely going to be Aaron Rodgers. If it wasn't going to be Aaron Rodgers, then it was likely going to be Sam Darnold. If it wasn't going to be Sam Darnold, then maybe there was going to be, they were going to get reunited, and it hurts so good they were going to do it with Russell Wilson. Maybe nobody thought that the Raiders would go out and make a trade for Geno Smith.
You want to know what seems to have sparked it?
Tell us.
So Albert Breer is reporting. We all know that, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, DK Metcalf requested a trade.
Right.
Yes.
From Seattle. So Albert Breer reports that the Seahawks opened trade discussions with the Raiders with this blockbuster proposal. DK Metcalf and Geno Smith for Max Crosby.
Oy.
And then the Raiders were like, hell no. But they continued talking, and they ended up with Geno.
And what was what did they give up? They gave up a 3rd round pick for Geno Smith. That's what the Raiders gave up?
I believe so.
Well, can we all agree, at least on this, that the Raiders now have what you would call a legitimate starting quarterback? I'm not here to tell you that they got a star. I'm not here to tell you that he's better than what all the other teams in the AFC West have. But Geno Smith he's a legitimate starting quarterback in the NFL. He's a veteran quarterback. He has led a team, especially a team that most people didn't think was very good, to a playoff appearance. He knows this coach. There's still more in that tank. I think it's a great move. And what I really love about it is that it seemed to have come from completely out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good move for the Raiders. Like I said before, he's a bridge quarterback until they get in a position where they can draft somebody else. But I think this signals that they don't love the top 2 guys in this class enough, because they're going to have to trade up probably to get either Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. And I think they realize that they don't love those guys enough to part with whatever draft picks, players, assets, whatever it is, to get in position to draft those guys. So I think Geno's a nice fit. And you talk about getting the band back together. I mean, Geno and Pete Carroll were in Seattle for Pete's last few years up there before his retirement, his sabbatical, I guess is what we're calling it now. So they have some familiarity with one another. They bring back Max Crosby, as you mentioned. They've got Brock Bowers. They've got Jacoby Myers. I think they maybe go out. I wouldn't be surprised you see them draft another receiver, maybe day 2, early day 3, something like that. But I think they're building something, and I think more importantly, they're building something in a division where I know the Chiefs lost in the Super Bowl, but I think they're still a playoff team. They're still very good. The Chargers are still a very good team. So the Broncos are building. There's no pressure right away that they have to go out and win. I think they have some time to build some things.
And you say he's a bridge quarterback. You know who's not a bridge quarterback? Aaron Rodgers.
No.
You know who's not a bridge quarterback? Sam Darnold. Because if you go and get Sam Darnold, you're probably looking at a 3 or a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
Pete's got a 3-year deal. Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to hold anybody's hand. I think when you look at a guy like Geno Smith and you think about what do the Raiders still have, because they got rid of Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
They still have Aiden O'Connell, who I'm not here to tell you is a good quarterback. I'm just here to tell you that he's going to be a 3rd-year player who, when you're a 4th-round draft choice, you should probably not have as much playing time under your belt as a guy like Aiden O'Connell currently has.
Right.
So just make him your backup.
No, I think so. I mean, I think that's what they kind of had wanted to do. I don't know. I think they painted themselves in a corner last year with O'Connell and Minshew because neither was really good enough to get them where they wanted to go, and it just was going to always be a back and forth between the two of them. So Geno is going to put them in contention. I mean, look, I don't know. I think with Geno Smith, I'm going to call it 9-8, 7-10. I mean, I think that's probably a realistic look for the Raiders, but it is a step in the right direction from where they've been.
Hey, Lindsay, can you look up I'm just curious, what was Geno Smith's contract? Because that's the other part of it. What are the Raiders now spending on a quarterback? What was Aaron Rodgers going to be? Is he a 1-year, $20 million guy? Is he a 2-year, $45 or $50 million guy?
So Geno is in the final year of a 3-year, $75 million contract, which includes a $44.5 million cap hit for 2025.
Okay, so When you really just think about the outlay, though, you're talking about a starting quarterback in the $25 million range. When you think about the upper echelon of quarterbacks, you're talking about Dak Prescott at $60 million. And, there's a whole group of guys right thereafter, like the Lamar Jackson types of the world, that are all in the 50-plus million. Jared Goff is in that group of guys. So it's not like a ridiculously extravagant expenditure for a starting quarterback. You're also not getting an upper echelon top 10 guy, but you're getting a solid player.
Do you like this better than them drafting Shedeur, which was a rumor for a while?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
You think Shedeur is like super bummed? I bet he is.
So
I think he thought he was going there.
You know what's sort of funny about this though is because and comps are sort of weird, player comps are sort of weird, but I felt like Shedeur's absolute top level ceiling was being Geno Smith.
Interesting.
So now they just got the real thing. So that to me was best case scenario for Shedeur Sanders was being Geno Smith.
All right, we're in the middle of commercial-free 30. Marcus Grant is in for Sedano. Lindsay, can I do the Cosm Ticket Friday giveaway?
Do it.
Let me do it right now. Hey, it is a Cosm Ticket Friday. Call 877-710-ESPN right now. Caller 7 will win a pair of tickets to experience the wall-to-wall multi-view in the hall. The wall-to-wall in the hall for Arizona and Kansas. A little college basketball action tomorrow. Limited tickets available through Cosm.com or the Cosm mobile app. But your chance to win right now only from 710 ESPN. Do you want to go to Cosm? Have you been yet? Do you want to hang out with Steve Mason tomorrow afternoon at Cosm? 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. Caller 7 right now. You and Mace tomorrow are hanging out watching college basketball at Cosm. Marcus, are you going to be watching the Arizona-Kansas game tomorrow?
I doubt it. I have a big day of mattress shopping and that sort of thing ahead of me.
Oh, really? Mattress shopping?
It's gonna be a big exciting day tomorrow.
Is that right?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll pull up on my phone while I'm out.
When was the last time you've shopped for and purchased a new mattress?
We didn't purchase, but we did like a week ago. Actually, go and go to the mattress store and lay on mattresses and that sort of thing. Yeah.
And now are you going to a different mattress store?
We're going to a different one because we're going to compare and contrast and see if we can get a better deal somewhere.
Mattresses are expensive.
They
right?
are indeed. Yes, I feel like it feels a little bit like a scam.
I have not bought a mattress in a really long time.
Okay.
And I did get a mattress. This is many years ago because we had a sponsor on the radio that was a mattress store.
Okay.
And the guy who was the CEO of this mattress store, he demanded. Yeah, it wasn't like he was like, hey, would you guys like to have a mattress, in lieu of money? And this guy demanded everybody who spoke on behalf of his mattress store must sleep on a mattress from his store. And he even told everybody, he said the most expensive mattress, the highest quality, the best one we've got is whatever it was, Posturepedic, I don't freaking know, memory foam, whatever it was, right? So I walk into the mattress store and I'm like, well, the CEO told me to get the biggest, best one they got, California King, whatever.
Right.
That one. How much do you think a really, really high-end mattress, like the best one in the store, how much?
You're probably talking $4 or $5 grand.
Keep going.
8?
More.
10?
A little bit more.
11?
12. 12. Who would spend 12 grand on a mattress?
American dollars?
Yeah, American dollars, not pesos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
12 grand?
That's a lot of money,
dude.
That's the kind of mattress Stephen A. Smith sleeps on.
Oh, he is now.
Right.
Now that he got that new $20 million deal. And the funny thing is that this mattress is now, if I had to take a guess, I'll bet you this mattress is probably every bit of 15 years old.
Wow.
Okay.
It's probably not good. You probably need a new mattress.
Well, and it's got like that little indentation in it, like on my side where I sleep every night.
They say at least every 10 years you should replace your mattress.
I'm not
Which
replacing
also feels
it.
like part of the scam, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not replacing it. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I will sleep in that little hole in my mattress before I would ever
Why don't you
replace
flip
that
it?
thing. Okay, good question. Because I don't think this is a flippable mattress.
Well, why don't you rotate it?
I mean,
Do you
any
rotate
mattress
it?
could be a flippable mattress if you try hard enough.
Right.
True, but I think that it's got like this pillow top thing on one.
right.
Yeah.
You can buy a pillow top for cheap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can buy like a topper for
But
your bed.
do you rotate it regularly?
Never.
Oh, you're supposed to do that. That's why you don't get.
That's why you have a.
That's
That's why you have a dent. That's why you have
Yeah.
a groove in the bed.
I mean, this guy told me, he goes, listen, he goes, you're going to speak on behalf of my mattress company? I want you sleeping on one of my mattresses. I want you walking in this weekend. You walk in, you tell them I want the biggest, baddest, most expensive mattress that we got. He goes, don't even lay on another one. And I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, I felt bad. I was like, are you sure? It's like a really expensive mattress. And now there's a big indentation in the middle of it.
I mean, 15 years later, yeah, that sort of thing
Yeah,
happens.
it does stand to reason, doesn't it? All right, Marcus Grant is in for Sedano. We are into 30-minute commercial free right now on Sedano and Cap. And I want to remind everybody that ESPN LA is proud to partner with Children's Hospital of Los Angeles for the 10th annual Make March Matter campaign. ESPN LA will be auctioning off exclusive 710 experiences thanks to our friends at Legends Attic, Fantasy Springs Casino, and San Antonio Winery. All proceeds will be donated to CHLA. Visit 710forchla.com to make a difference today. That's 710FORCHLA to make a difference today. So, Marcus, we were talking about Stephen A. against LeBron.
Right.
Did you happen to also follow Charles Barkley against Kendrick Perkins?
I have been kind of keeping an eye on that one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Look, Chuck is good to stir the pot, and I think especially. Look, just based on statements and reading things, I don't know that Chuck is really all that thrilled with having to leave, the comfy confines of TNT and come to a new network. So maybe he's going to throw some rocks at the Hornets' nest before he comes on over here. This one entertains me. This one, the LeBron Stephen A. is sort of entertaining. Chuck versus Kendrick Perkins is very entertaining to me.
Is it because you think that that makes for a much more interesting mano-a-mano battle? I mean, Charles used to be back in the day. I mean, Charles would pick a fool up and throw him through a window.
There's a whole generation of people out there who only know Charles as the fat, loud guy on TNT and don't realize how much of a beast he was when he played. And yes, the fact that he would, occasionally put somebody through a plate glass window every once in a while. I also think, though, the argument itself has a little bit of merit because the NBA is so narrative driven that I think sometimes the NBA media misses what could be interesting stories and ways to promote other players and other teams. I mean, everybody's looking out for who's the next big thing because, look, LeBron's not going to be around that much longer. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, these guys are getting near the end of their careers and everybody's waiting for who is next. Well, I think that's some of the job of the people who talk about the sport is to create the storylines so that everybody knows who Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is, so that people other than Lindsay know who Evan Mobley is on a regular basis. And so I think Chuck does have a little bit of a point there that, we love talking about the Lakers because of where we are and what we do. But I think for a lot of the country, there are 29 other teams out there. And I think that was, as crude as Chuck made it, that was the point that he was trying to make.
I know, but on the other hand, I mean, you're in the television business. Mm-hmm. You're in the entertainment industry. Yes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a really good player, and he plays for Oklahoma City. It's not sexy, Oklahoma City. Los Angeles, the Lakers, LeBron James, Jeannie Buss, a big trade for a superstar like Luka Doncic. I mean, it's the Lakers, it's the brand, it's the history, it's the market. It's sexy.
Once upon a time, though, the Lakers weren't sexy, right? Let's pivot this to football. What's sexy about Green Bay, Wisconsin?
The history, the tradition, the small town, the fact that the stadium sprouts up in this little teeny tiny neighborhood, when you think back to the annals of NFL history and you think about the Lombardi Trophy, it emanates from Green Bay, Wisconsin. So there's a charm in the small market of Green Bay.
But what about Kansas City? Everyone's always talking about the Chiefs and Mahomes. What's sexy about that?
And it's also, though, because people who talked about the sport created this mythology, created this legend behind Green Bay and Vince Lombardi and the Packers. I mean, at some point, I know there's no legend of Evan Mobley, like the Donovan Mitchell isn't necessarily, but I think as part of the job, part of your job is to create this like, hey, you got. It's like finding a new musical artist, right? Like your friend's like, hey, have you listened to whatever, right? And they're hyping this person up, and they're telling you got to listen to this album, you got to stream it, you got to download it, whatever, and then you check it out, and that's sort of how things build. And so I think as the media, as the NBA, especially on television, part of your job is to sort of be that word of mouth hype person to get people interested in like. I keep hearing about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, I got to check. I got to see what it's all about. Like, part of your job is to do that. And so to not do that and then complain that nobody wants to talk about the Thunder, well, it's the Tim Robinson, like, we're all trying to find the guy who did this meme. It's like, it's that meme right there. So, like,
But I feel like Charles Barkley has been, first of all, Charles has been a Laker hater for a really long time.
Yes.
That's the first part. The second part
he's a Warrior hater too, by the way.
That is true. But the second part of it is Charles goes on national TV, and part of the goof is he doesn't know who this guy plays for. He doesn't know who that guy is. I mean, the complaining that J.J. Redick did earlier this season, that guys who cover the league kind of crap on the league, that they don't promote the beauty of the game. And then they asked JJ, yo, man, what'd you think of the All-Star festivities this weekend? He's like, I'm not watching any of that BS. And so, like, the guy is, I mean, like, everybody's always kind of putting things down, and they're always complaining about everybody putting things down. Even Draymond Green during the All-Star game. Oh, man, this is boring. The regular season is boring. Like, dude, you're on the All-Star game on their platform, and you're talking about how bad the product is. What I'm saying is this, is that I understand, and I agree with you at the beginning, there's merit to the notion that the Lakers get a little too much shine nationally. I will grant you that. But at least in the last 6 weeks, from the way they started playing to this ridiculous, crazy trade to Dallas knocking Luka on the way out the door, calling him fat and drunk and hookah and everything else. And then Anthony Davis getting hurt, and then Anthony Davis coming back, and then Anthony Davis being applauded by the crowd, and then Luka the way the Lakers have been playing, and then Jeannie Buss saying what she said about Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis saying what he said about leaving the team, and people knew. I mean, there's drama. That's why people talk about the Lakers.
Well, and I think Brian Kamenetsky made this point earlier today, and I thought it was a good one, that they can do both. They can use the Lakers or the Warriors as sort of the hook to get you in, right? Come for the LeBron talk. Stay to see what the Cavs are doing. Like, that should be the thing. Like, that's the Lakers, Steph Curry can be sort of the, it's the carnival barker outside that gets you in the tent. And then you look at all the other things around there, too. So I think there's maybe not enough of that happening that can sort of satisfy everybody.
But I liked it that Charles Barkley called out Kendrick Perkins, called him an idiot, called him a bunch of names, and then Big Perk is like, oh, hell nah. Oh, hell nah.
Hell no.
You tell him. Big Perk said,
Come on, Cap. Don't do it to me.
You know I will do it to you, Perk. And I don't have the exact tweet that he sent.
But he said something about I'm from the 408, 480.
Yeah, right.
Are we serious right now?
Are we? Are we? Because he said, he goes, hey, man, and I don't remember how he called it. He didn't say Texas strong, but maybe like Texas proud or something like that. But he told TNT,
he said, hey, I'll say at TNT, might want to tell that senior citizen Charles Barkley that I'll be around. When he see an idiot or a fool in person, make sure he keep that same energy. He can come playing with me if he want to, and I'm gonna address it like the numbers on the house. He said, straight from the 409, homeboy. We bar none and fade all.
Address him like the numbers on a house. That made me laugh. That was a bar. That was legit.
I can imagine him saying that. I'm gonna address him like the numbers on a house.
Like that. That was a bar.
You tell him, Perk. You tell him, Big Perk.
Straight from the 409, homeboy.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you something right now. 20 years ago, a younger former NBA player might look at Charles Barkley and go, hey, man, what a career, Hall of Famer, tough guy, rolling around on the floor, fighting with Shaquille O'Neal, throwing fools through windows, etc. Nowadays, it's like, yo, man, tell that senior citizen to shut the hell up.
By the way, he also has a good point because he also tweeted that, quote, The idiot is headed on SportsCenter to talk all Lakers. They said Bron and Luka couldn't play together, but their play says otherwise. They said we're going to be crying in the morning talking about the Lakers. They're wrong again. He's right. Charles Barkley is the exact person who said, like, oh, this is not going to work. They can't play together.
From the first second, Charles Barkley said, LeBron and Luka together never works because both guys need the ball. He essentially said both guys' egos are too big. They won't be able to coexist. And thus far, through the last 6 weeks, Charles is wrong, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like being wrong. Now, hold on one second here. Since we're talking about all this NBA drama, Lindsay, are you telling me that Stephen A. has now come out with what LeBron actually did say to him last night?
Yes, on his podcast.
Stephen A. Smith show.
Yep. So here's what he says.
He approached me during the game, and he said, "Stop effing with my son. That's my effing son. Stop effing with my son." I said, "What? Nah, man, straight up, man to man. Real talk. Stop effing with my son." And I saw how furious he was. And I said, "We can talk about it later." "Nah, F that. Stop effing with my son. That's my son. I said, "All right, dog. Fine." And he walked away. That's all he said. I knew what he was talking about. I've spoken about this before. Matter of fact, I heard that not many, not all, but a few players were upset at me about that. I think one player in particular was Draymond Green, who I haven't spoken to since and has no desire to speak to me primarily because of this, I suppose. And I found out the way that I found out, which was last night.
See, I would have said the exact same thing that Stephen A. said. Nah, dog. That's what I would have said. Marcus,
I totally imagine that.
That's
Right,
exactly what I would have said.
That totally tracks with
right,
you. Yeah,
I would have been like,
no.
hell no, dog. Yeah, LeBron looked angry, man. I mean, LeBron looked pissed. LeBron looked like, yo, man, I'm about to get some. And Stephen A. is like, yo, man, I just got a new $20 million a year contract. I don't want any of that. So why don't you go over there and you go play? I'm going to stand over here and hang out with Larry David.
Which, by the way, this whole thing seems like it could have been on an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
You're right.
Larry
It does.
Larry David just hanging out with Stephen A. Smith at a Laker game, and suddenly, like, Stephen A. gets in an altercation with LeBron. Like, it just seems like it. You know? The whole thing.
Oh, my God. It's hilarious.
And by the way, like, to a lot of people's point, you know.
There we go.
Saying that LeBron, he was in the middle of a game. What if they lost? But they didn't because he went back and, like, you know, hit clutch shot to help complete a comeback. So.
Yes, he did. And I'm the guy who said, what if they lost? I'm the guy who said you're in the middle of the game. Like, focus on the game. Like, really, you chose that part of the game to go address Stephen A. Smith?
Maybe that got him going, you know?
Okay, maybe. Maybe Stephen A. should sit courtside more.
Maybe he just, you know how it is, Cappy, when I can imagine a situation like that where you're at a point where, like, all you see is red and you're just like, oh, no, I need to say something. And he just, like, was completely out of his mind.
I just can't imagine it happening in game. Now, don't get me wrong. LeBron's got thin skin. I mean, you know, people sit courtside. They say things that he don't like. Him, her, both of them. Get him out of here.
You see that, like, he turns around and happens to catch him because Stephen A. was walking back to his seat. He wasn't just sitting down. Stephen A. was, like, walking over and, like, he looked and he did a double take and then he, like, you know, walked him down.
All right. Well, I have to study the film. I'm going to have to study the tape.
I thought he was sitting down already.
No, he wasn't.
That's what I thought, too. I thought Stephen A. was sitting down. I thought LeBron was sitting down on the bench and goes, you know what? Hold on a second. Come over here with me for a second. And then he walked right up on Stephen A.
Check the film.
We need a film breakdown.
Yeah, we do. We need a full breakdown. We need like laser pointers and everything.
Like little X's and O's,
right.
the whole thing. Yeah.
Seriously, I got to be able to rewind and stuff. The whole deal. All right, coming up, it's time for Big Deal or No Deal. But before we get there, hey, guys, fathers are essential to a child's well-being. We all understand that. Guys, if you are going through a divorce, if you are dealing with a custody battle, I'm here to tell you that Real Fathers' Rights, the law firm, we are here to help you fight for your rights. Because a lot of times, very unfairly, the legal system will favor the mom in custody disputes. but Real Father's Rights. We are fighting for dads. We are scoring for kids. We are going to help you level the playing field. If you are a dad and you are feeling like you are not a part of your child's life and you say this is unfair, this has got to stop, we are here to get you the justice you deserve. The Father's Rights Attorneys, Real Father's Rights, helping dads navigate the family court system. It could be child custody, could be child support, divorce, domestic violence, restraining orders. I'm telling you right now, Real Father's Rights, we are here to help the dads. LA, Orange County, Inland Empire, San Diego, we can help. Here's our dedicated phone number, 833-ESPN-710, 833-ESPN-710. Here's our new website, Real Father's Rights, rfr710.com, rfr710.com. Let's get real with Mark Real and Real Father's Rights.
Children's Hospital Los Angeles is a leader in breakthrough pediatric care, treating complex cases and
I showed up at the hospital and was told I couldn't see my children. Then I showed up in court and was told they may not be mine. Then I was accused of anything and everything. Sexual assault, domestic violence, substance abuse. You name it, I heard it. I was forced to go long periods of time without seeing my children. That experience of being wrongfully treated ignited something in me. I can look at a father and honestly tell him, I know how he is feeling. I've been there. At Real Father's Rights, we care about your family, your livelihood, and your future.
ESPN LA and BBGO are going on a quest for the Lakers GOAT. No, not the GOAT. The GOAT. The greatest Lakers fan of all time. Think it's you? Upload your pic or video to Facebook, Instagram, X, or TikTok, and tell us your favorite Lakers memory. Use hashtag LakersGoat, GFOAT, and hashtag promotion, and follow at ESPN Los Angeles. The Lakers GOAT is going to be rewarded with courtside seats, a VIP private tour of the Lakers UCLA Health Training Center, a year's supply of BBGO, and more. The Lakers GOAT. Is it you?
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256 or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STREAK to 321-321. That's STREAK to 321-321.
This is Sedano and Cap on 710. Yeah. Sedano and Cap continues.
Not really.
Right now.
Time for Big Deal or No Deal. It's Sedano and Cap. Marcus Grant crushing it today, filling in for Sedano.
Marcus, do you like working on our show? Like, are you a fan, like, of all the shows? Like, do you like Sedano and Cap?
Oh, I'm not. No, I see what you're trying to
no,
do
no.
here. I see what you're trying to do.
I'm not asking you to compare.
I'm not falling into this
It's not a
trap.
comparison.
I'm not asking you to compare. I just want to know, like, do you have fun on our show?
I do. I do.
Do you enjoy?
I do enjoy working on this show. Yes.
Okay.
Follow it up, Lindsay. Do you have more fun when you fill in on this show than you do when you're filling in on Mason and Ireland? Go ahead.
That's
See,
the part.
You can ask it.
You just asked it, Cappy.
I was only asking it on your behalf.
Well, we all want to know.
I enjoy all of the shows equally.
Oh, that's so fun.
Because I was here. Was it last summer when there was a little bit of a battle brewing between the Mafia and the Circle of Trust?
Right.
No more battles. We don't.
No battles, huh?
There was
No battles.
There was the whole thing with Bergmania and
Bergmania is definitely still a thing.
And Cappy, was it Cappy Land? What the?
Yeah.
There
But
was a whole-
Bergmania is a part of the show, you know?
I enjoy being a citizen of the world and being able to travel freely across borders and that sort of thing.
You got your 710 passport.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
In fact, we were talking about a remote coming up where George is not going to be there, and we're like, let's have Cappy there with Greg and Marcus, maybe. You know?
The whole Blue Review.
Yeah,
So am I
exactly.
going to be the neutral party here between Cappy Land and Bergmania? Is that what this
Yes,
whole thing's going to
you're
be?
the
Right,
bridge.
that's what we needed.
I'm the,
We-
the ambassador here.
We needed Switzerland to join us.
Exactly.
Nice. All right, Lindsay, baseball. Time for big deal or no deal on a Friday evening as we head into this weekend, which, by the way, I think will be highlighted by Lakers-Celtics Saturday night. How am I going to tell Rachel, hey, when she says, do we have plans Saturday night? And I say, yeah.
Yeah, watching
You're gonna
Lakers
say,
Celtics.
Yeah.
And she says, what are we doing? And I say, Lakers-Celtics. And she goes, no. For reals. Because I hate when we go to dinner and I have my phone on the game and I put my phone on the chair next to me, but she knows that I'm really only watching the game and not paying attention.
Oh, see, the trick is to get a seat in view of like the bar because
Yep.
then there'll be TVs on.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
You're just sitting there so you can see the game.
Okay.
Go to an early dinner.
It's a good idea. What time is the game? What time is the game
I would
tip
guess
off?
it's a
5:30.
5:30.
Oh, 5:30. That's right. It's in.
It's a prime
Boston.
time. That's also a prime time ABC.
Oh,
game,
you know
right?
what? I could actually get that done before we even go
I was
anywhere.
going to say,
and
go
do
to a
anything.
late dinner.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Big deal or no deal. Lindsay Baseball standing by, ready to roll.
All right, so speaking about the Lakers, since we're talking about obviously everything going on with Luka, LeBron, Mark Cuban, former majority owner of the Mavs, was just asked about the trade today. So he did an interview with WFAA, and I remember he's like the biggest Luka fan ever, said that he was untradeable at one point, but obviously he's not the majority owner anymore. So he said that he was, of course, upset about the trade. But he said, quote, if the Mavs are going to trade Luka, that's one thing. Just get a better deal. No disrespect to Anthony Davis, but I still firmly believe if we had gotten, get this, 4 unprotected number ones and Anthony Davis and Max Christie, this would have been a different conversation. So, kind of a big deal that, he spoke out about this and gave his parameters. Okay, if this were a trade were offered to me, this is what I would want. Do you guys think that his trade proposal is fair? Do you think that would have worked out, or do you think that's too much?
I think it's fair. Well, first, can we just start with Mark Cuban falling into the no disrespect trap? The no disrespect, but and then says something pretty disrespectful.
Anthony Davis is always hurt, but
right. But yeah, no. I mean, you're talking about trading away one of the, superstars of the league, right? The guy who's already a top 5 player is only 25 years old. Barring injury, is going to have a long career ahead of him still in the NBA. Yeah, if I'm giving up that kind of player, I need a lot to recoup because you're giving away a guy that you already know versus the mystery box that is the NBA draft. So I'm going to need 4 unprotected number ones. I'm going to need Max Christie. I'm going to need all these other things to try and potentially cushion the blow of me giving away the guy that's pretty much a sure thing right now.
So I'm going to go in a different direction. I would say, first of all, I think that would be way, way, way too much to give up if you were the Lakers. And if you had those assets to give up, way too much. And by the way, if you're Dallas, guess what? You didn't need that much. You know why? because you'd already made a decision, and you've been very public about it. Luka's fat. Luka's drunk. Luka smokes too much. Luka's a bad teammate. Luka can't take us to a championship. I mean, these were the things that the Mavericks were saying as they kicked him out the door. So if that's what you felt about him, and by the way, I've heard a million other people say this. They watched him every day. They knew who he was. They knew what he was. Well, then I guess they didn't want him anymore and therefore didn't need as much as Mark Cuban suggests they did.
I felt, because all the stuff about Luka being fat and the Luka Doncic and all that kind of stuff, that felt like CYA by Nico Harrison.
100%.
That was I traded this guy and now I'm catching hell for it from every direction.
Right.
So I need to make this thing look better any way I can.
I need to convince the fan base that the reason we traded him, as great as he is, as young as he is, and as successful as he's been, I have to convince the fan base that the reason we ratted him out and the reason we sold him out is because he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And that's a decision they made.
I mean, forget that he took you to the finals last year. They had players around him, but he was the driving force that got you to the NBA Finals last year.
And hell yeah! And for me, listen, to me, this is basketball karma. You trade him, you talk all kinds of bad stuff about him. Anthony Davis comes in and shows you how great he is in a half, then gets hurt again, and then you saw what happened to Kyrie, which I'm sad for him, but this is the Mavericks right now. Had you just traded him and said, hey, look, here's the deal. We saw how far we got with him. We think we can get further with this guy. And if you're the Lakers, you go, hey, we got beat by Denver 3 straight times. We don't think we can get past Denver with the team we had, so we went in a different direction to play a different style. It could have all been good. But instead, I'm with you. Nico Harrison decided I have to cover right now for the organization because they didn't want to pay Luka Doncic.
By the way, this is not Nico Harrison's first big fumble with an NBA star.
Tell me more.
He was part of the Nike group that was making a pitch to Steph Curry to try to sign him. First, he mispronounced Steph's name. Instead of Stephen Curry, called him Stephon Curry.
Oh, my.
And then in the presentation, had Kevin Durant's name on one of the slides, making it look like they sort of recycled the whole thing. So then Steph left Nike and signed with Under Armour, and now he's traded away Luka Doncic for a bag of Magic Beans.
Mm-hmm.
So you're 0 for 2 there.
I mean, he also had Jalen Brunson and he had Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Jalen Brunson last night, and I go, man, I mean, look, I get it. I see his stats, and I see his highlights. But when you see Jalen Brunson play in person, I mean, he's a special dude.
He's a dog.
He really is. Yeah, I thought that last night watching it at some point. Actually, right near the end of the game, right before he rolled his ankle, I said to my wife, at one point the Mavs, they could have Brunson and Luka together.
Yeah, how about that? And I give Brunson a lot of credit. Listen, he went down last night, and it looked like it was really painful, and he limped to that free throw line. He knocked down those 2 free throws. Again, it wasn't Kobe tearing his Achilles, but you just hurt your ankle to the point where after he made the second free throw and the Lakers brought the ball in, he stood there at the free throw line.
He couldn't move.
And he went right to the locker room. Yeah. It wasn't even a question mark. All right, Lindsay Baseball, how about a little bit more?
Okay, I got one more for you real quick here. So, first off, I'm going to say Cleveland alert.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Not a good one, though. Not a good one at all. So, Browns star Myles Garrett recently requested a meeting with the owner of the team, Jimmy Haslam, and he declined to speak amidst Garrett's trade request, according to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. Both sides are dug in, he said. Cleveland refuses to even discuss a trade, while Garrett is preparing to miss games if he's not traded. Is this a big deal or no deal?
I'm going to tackle this one first, Marcus.
Please.
Last night I was having a very interesting conversation with a guy who's a sports executive. And when I say sports executive, he's got business with lots of different sports franchises. And we were having this conversation, and he said this, and I never really thought about it this way. He said, it's amazing how when a team is bad in their business, how that plays out on the field or on the court. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, tell me a little bit more. And he started going into certain organizations that just aren't good in their business. Mm. And then they're 3-14, or they're 4-13. And they're just a losing team. And then he made the comparison. He goes, now take a look at this squad over here. These guys are great in business. And oh, by the way, they're a championship contender every single year. And I thought, that's really interesting, but it's also kind of obvious at the same time.
Right.
When you hear the phrase, it starts at the top, it really does. When I look at Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, when you have a disgruntled superstar who just is requesting a chance to talk to the owner, maybe the owner could fix it.
Yeah.
And the owner says, no, kid, I won't even talk to you. From way up here on my throne, I won't even talk to you, little peasant player. You think that that's going to make this kid want to stay there and play? Talk to our general manager. Talk to the kid. You know, maybe the kid walks in, Myles Garrett, and goes, hey, I want to play for a winner. Please let me go. But on the other hand, maybe the owner says, hey, I'm committed to winning, and maybe he convinces him to stay. The fact that he won't even talk to him is ridiculous.
Not only that, I mean, obviously it's incredibly insulting if you are Myles Garrett, but everybody else in that locker room is paying attention to that. And every other potential free agent around the league is paying attention to that. That a guy who has been as productive and I think and still has so much left to offer, like Myles Garrett, can't even get a sit down. You're right. Maybe at the end of the conversation, Myles Garrett's still like, hey, look, I appreciate the opportunity. I need to go. But maybe Jimmy Haslam says, hey, look, I got a 10-point plan for what we're going to do to turn this thing around. But the fact that you won't even sit down with him for a franchise that has been, I mean, ever since they returned to Cleveland all those years ago, has been just a doormat.
Hey, they made the playoffs twice.
Low bar.
I stick by my story. You know, for that to happen only emphasizes why you are where you have been and why you will continue to be where you have been.
And here's the thing. It would be different if Jimmy Haslam was like Stan Kroenke. In other words, Stan Kroenke is never around the Rams.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his hands in the business. He leaves it to Les and he leaves it to Sean, and he's got other things going on. Jimmy Haslam is the guy that gave the guaranteed contract to Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
He's also the guy that told them to draft Johnny Manziel.
Okay, so that's my point.
Well, no,
is
it was the guy,
the
homeless guy with the great voice that
who,
told him
who
that.
told Jimmy
that's
Haslam.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like it's a bleep show, you know?
Yeah. All right, hey, listen, we'll get ready for our last segment of the week, and the Dealer's Choice Real Deal is coming up. But before we get there, let me talk to everybody about Prize Picks. If you have not yet downloaded the Prize Picks app, I want you to download the Prize Picks app. I want you to use the code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. When you make your first play of $5, you get a $50 bonus. Today is Flex Friday. There's deals all over the place, and there are ways to win up to 1,000 times your money. So if I told you that you could take $10 and turn it into $1,000, wouldn't you want to take that opportunity? Of course you would. Now, I have not played any Prize Picks today. I'm usually a daily player. It was last Wednesday that I had a $20 5-pick flex play that hit for $160. Since then, I'm 0 for 2. I will acknowledge that. And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I want to ask everybody to do me a favor. If you are playing Prize Picks, you've downloaded the app, you use the code CAPPY, you've made that $5 play, you've got that $50 bonus, you're doing your research, you're getting it done. Can you just click the share button, please, on your Prize Picks app, and then tweet it at me, at Scott Kaplan? Let me see what your picks are. I will play your picks because you're probably doing more homework and more research than I am. But I will say this, I'm saving it up for tomorrow night. Boston hosting the Lakers, LeBron and Luka in Boston against Jason Tatum and his crew. I'll be playing Prize Picks tomorrow night. And if you follow me on social media, I'll put out my Prize Picks tomorrow. Prize Picks, download the app. Use the code CAPPY, make that $5 play, get that $50 bonus. Prize Picks, run your game.
Hey, you feel it? Days are getting longer.
Are you the greatest Laker fan of all time?
I showed up at the hospital and was told I couldn't see my children. Then I showed up in court and was told they may not be mine. Then I was accused of anything and everything. Sexual assault, domestic violence, substance abuse, you name it, I heard it. I was forced to go long periods of time without seeing my children. That experience of being wrongfully treated ignited something in me. I can look at a father and honestly tell him, I know how he is feeling. I've been there. At Real Fathers' Rights, we care about your family, your livelihood, and your future.
I'm Doug.
And I'm Damon.
And we want to buy your house.
Let Seller's Advantage show you how we can give you more.
No fees, no commissions, and no repairs. Just a fair cash offer that can close in just a few days.
Check out our Google reviews.
And call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Joy. And from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
Final segment music here on Sedano and Cap. Pretty short one, too, I think, huh? What time are we getting out of here? What's our out time?
58:20.
58:20. Got ourselves a full 2 minutes. Nice.
Extravagant.
Marcus Grant, spectacular job today filling in for Sedano.
Thank you.
Great job, DeAndre and Lindsay. Great job by the Funchy Lover.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chicken bakes, man. Those are fantastic.
A shout out to Funch. He's the hero. Me and DeAndre were so hungry, too.
Gosh, I got to say, like the Costco guys, AJ and Big Justice. Those two guys came in earlier today, and I'm going to tell you that I didn't eat a lot, but it was enough to get like myself a little sick. You know, the Dealer's Choice Real Deal is brought to you by Seller's Advantage. You want to sell your house before you call an agent? Call Seller's Advantage. They're going to buy it with an as-is competitive cash offer. No repairs needed. They make selling easy. Call 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer or visit sellersadvantage.com. You know, I was really a little, I wasn't sure what we were going to do today with the Costco guys, with Big Justice and AJ. And they did a promo at the Laker game on Tuesday night of this week. Hey, we're coming on Sedano and Cap on Friday. And, dude, every comment in that promo was, I'll never listen to this radio station again. What a bunch of losers, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, these are our kinds of guys. If they get that kind of negative reaction, bring them to us. And the best thing that happened today, Marcus, me and DeMarco were hanging out with the Costco guys. And then we get done. We've given them tacos. We've given them Pink's hot dogs. We've given them Randy's donuts. And then Lindsay walks him in to Mason in Ireland. I mean, unbeknownst to everybody, Mason just throws him on the air. So for everybody that threatened me that they'll never listen to Sedano and Cap again, I hope you're bringing that same energy for my boy Mace. You know what you'll do to him. I mean, you'll mess his head up all weekend long.
I'm just wondering who would have been more unimpressed, because Brian Kamenetsky had no clue what was happening, like at all. And then George basically no-sold it because he's just not on board with the whole thing. So I actually would have loved to see Sedano, B-Cam here with the Costco guys just to gauge their reaction.
I know, it would have been great. Hey, by the way, it's plastered everywhere, and it's going to get plastered all weekend long because these guys are going to be competing in AEW's Revolution Sunday over at Crypto.com. So shout out to Big Justice. Shout out to Dad AJ. Great job, Lindsay. And what a great week we've had. Amazing work, DeAndre. Lindsay Baseball. Marcus, great to be with you. Andy Kamenetsky. It's a double dose of Kamenetsky brothers coming up for Lakers Talk. Funchy, amazing work. We will see everybody on Monday. Have a great weekend. Go Lakers in Boston tomorrow night.